he is a diehard Vikings fan, so I think that would be fun to kind of check out. And here, looks like, look, we're showing off family here too. This is Everett, the future Texans fan right here. He's getting to check out the whole layout. See you say hi, buddy.
Hi.
Hi. Is this cool? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, huh? I think it's pretty cool. So, anyways, this should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. We're going to wait around. The draft still hasn't started. It looks like Roger Goodell should be going up there soon to make an announcement to start the draft. But this is going to be a fun one, for sure. All right, you got him? All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, awesome. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, there's a couple of receivers that I want to see. I want to see if Brandon Ayuk might get traded today. You might have. There's been a few rumors for T. Higgins might get traded. We had Stephon Diggs. He joined the Texans, which was so hype. I was so pumped about that one. That was huge. So I was shocked by that one too, by the way. But we're just gonna wait and see. That's always the interesting thing on the first day of the draft. You'll get those subtle trades. A.J. Brown is a perfect example of it. I even think Adam Schefter talks about it in one of these too. He says, yeah, look at this. Right, he was traded during 2022. So we'll see. We'll wait and see. Rumors are also swirling about, this is kind of the one that just popped up, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. So a lot of people have talked about how it's Brandon Ayuk, but people are also looking at Deebo Samuel. I have a lot of Niners fans that are in my life, and I've always been pro, hey, trade Deebo and then keep Ayuk. I just think Deebo's so similar to Christian McCaffrey. I mean, obviously they play different positions, but they're always getting each other's way in some sort of level. A lot of the strengths that Deebo has is what the strengths Christian McCaffrey has. And in the same capacity, they have George Kittle, and George Kittle kind of has a lot of the strengths, that middle, short to middle routes. A lot of the short to middle routes are getting taken up. The one thing is Ayuk does, and that's the ability to go deep that nobody else can do on that roster. So I think if they lost Ayuk, I think it would be a massive loss. Like, just a massive loss. So, anyways, excited to check that out. We're going to wait and see. Let's see if we have the picks going. I'm gonna be watching a little bit, too. We're going to be checking out, Pat McAfee. He's gotten big. I think he has Bill Belichick on. So, might watch that, too, for a second. See what those are, too. So, this should be a fun one. I think we're just kind of waiting on the inevitable to take place, with Caleb Williams going number 1. But it's going to get interesting after the first pick. But exciting stuff. So exciting stuff. Now, I'm going to hop in here to a Discord. Let's see. Let's see if all right. Now it's time to wait. I'm going to run through some of the other rumors, too, we've been seeing here. Kind of get to it here. I think it's sweet that Bill Belichick's on with Pat McAfee. I think it's so sick. He's such a mysterious guy, like nobody knows about him. So I think it's legit that he actually is coming on there and kind of finally getting to share some of his insights. I even think he's going to have a big board too. So I'd be intrigued to see what takes place there. I want to look at what the most recent mock drafts are too. just to check it out. I want to see if they have, because there's a lot of rumors that are spiraling. This is 5 hours ago. Oh, I've heard stuff from Ryan Wilson. He's decently accurate. Well, let's check out what does Bleacher Report have to say. Oh no, they did a video on it. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I expected. There's a crazy amount of projected trades. I mean, even in this guy's mock draft, he's projecting a trade at 3, 4, 9, 18. Like, this is crazy. That's crazy for trade ups. Then I like this one too. Hopefully, for my entertainment's sake, Texans trade back in too. That would be exciting. That's what I'd be shooting for. But yeah, Eminem hype. Eminem, did you see the Eminem at Roby? Yeah. This is, yeah, true. Love to see it. Let's see here. I just saw that they're kicking it off. I want to see if they have, we can watch it too. Looks like the draft's just about to kick off. They're doing all their introductions. It's so funny how much of a show it is now. It's just like the biggest show ever. Just over the course of history, it's just changed so much. Now it's like one of the most popular shows, I mean, or events, sporting events in America, which is just so funny. It's so funny how that works out. Because in reality, like to the average, sports fan, it's a very boring event, which is just like makes it hilarious. Because I mean, nobody would want to watch this, but for here, I mean, for sports fans like us or nerds, I mean, like sports nerds like us, it's like a die-hard event where you just can't miss it. You don't want to miss it. So I just think it's hilarious how that works. But. All right, let's check out some of the mock draft here. All right, let's go through kind of what I'm thinking here. So, in terms of, let's see, I'm interested to see how accurate these mock drafts actually turn out. I feel like trades are always the ones that just shake it up so much. First round, first pick, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels with number 2. I feel like that's probably who it's going to be. Literally like 3 months ago, Drake May was like the guy for sure. And then within the past 3 months, things have just changed. It's always sketchy how that works out. But I mean, Jaden McDaniels is so talented, so it's not a massive shocker. I'm not really surprised by it at all, but I mean, still, it is kind of funny how that all works out. Then Drake May going number 3 to the Vikings. That would be crazy. A trade up for the Vikings to number 3 would be crazy. All the rumors that were coming through today, and let's look it up too. Everything is Patriots won't trade. See, look at this. Jeremy Mayo says Patriots are taking a player at number 3. See, that's what all of the rumors is that they're going to take somebody. Yep. Patriots reveal plans for number 3. See, I don't think they're gonna move. Whether the Vikings or the Broncos end up liking it or not, I don't actually see someone moving, and I think people are gonna be moving up to get Drake May. So if I had to pick, I think Patriots end up just taking Drake May. I think it probably will go Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then Drake May, to be honest. But that's the kicker here. I do think, if I was going to predict, I think it's going to be Vikings who end up with J.J. McCarthy, and it probably will be at number 4. To be honest, it will probably be at number 4. So this guy, he's predicting Broncos, number 4. We'll see coming up to take J.J. McCarthy. This one is just crazy to me. I can't believe J.J. McCarthy has jumped up the boards this rapidly. I think it's crazy. I literally just think it's crazy it happened that fast. 6 quarterbacks top 15. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance. I wonder if this guy's going to say there's 6. Does he put Penix in it? Oh, it's just outside the top 15. This one is Michael Penix has been moving up like crazy, and some people are high on Bo Nix too. So this is going to be interesting to see because, like, my personal opinion, after watching the national championship, and I get that Michael Penix was injured, but it's such a sketchy pick. I've never seen that many quarterbacks get projected to go so high. Like the whole 6 quarterbacks in top 15, like that has never worked out. Like the percentage accuracy rate of quarterbacks working out is like so low. Like, for example, the draft, what was it, 2021? With Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence and, Trey Lance. I mean, a majority of all of those players didn't work out. And Trevor Lawrence is still, I mean, we'll find out if he's going to work out. But Justin Fields, Mac Jones, 4 out of the 5 are gone. So I think it's such a risk. And it's even sad because, like, personally, I like J.J. McCarthy. I actually think J.J. McCarthy's good. I just would like him if I was taking him at the end of the first or beginning of the second. The idea of taking him at number 4 is crazy. That's crazy. Like, he hasn't put enough on the tape. Now he could work out. I have the opinion, that J.J. McCarthy is getting all the hype because I think it has a little bit to do with, like, Brock Purdy. He reminds me of Brock Purdy. Not massive arm strength. Just passes to the right guys. Doesn't even pass off. Like Purdy started passing a ton, this past year. Obviously, he had a lot of records and different things like that. But McCarthy wasn't even passing that much. I think there's this element of, well, Purdy just had success. If we could just get ourselves a Purdy, we could get it to a Super Bowl run if we have the right pieces around us. I think there's a little bit of that ideology going on right now. So I am interested to see who ends up with him. I think people are falling in love with him, but that's going to be an interesting one. So we'll see. We'll see how that actually plays out. All right, Bears. It looks like Bears are on the clock. So I'm gonna be operating off of this pretty heavy. Twitter. I mean, that's how the draft operates nowadays. A lot of it's just going to come from Twitter. I can go to Ian Rappaport too. Let's go. I don't think this is... Yeah, there you go. Look at this old... This is old news. Okay. Alright, let's go. Let's see what comes through. Might have to sign into here. Let's hear what the Pat McAfee show's saying, huh? Yeah, still no picks. Still no picks have gone through, so we'll wait. But I think it's going to get interesting. It's a little bit of a prolonged thing here, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, back to the mock draft. I'm thinking, personally, if I had to guess, I think Cardinals end up staying at 4. I genuinely think Cardinals end up staying at 4. All right, here you go. Here's the commissioner. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. There you go. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. Kind of saw that one coming. What's crazy about the whole Caleb Williams thing is, like, he was really, like, freaking good and has been projected to be probably the #1 pick for I don't even know how long. But, I mean, it's definitely an interesting thing. Like, I don't know. He's so hyped, but he hasn't really been in a pro set offense. So you're kind of just like, I don't know how he's going to work. I think the Bears have him set up really nicely. I mean, if he's ever going to succeed, it's going to be here. So I mean, we don't know much about the coaching staff, to be honest. I mean, that's a heavy impact here. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. It's going to be interesting. All right. Let's see. All right. See, now it's all about who's going to go #2. Who's actually going to go #2? That's the part that's going to be interesting to see. That's the part that I'm kind of up in the air about. I don't know who it's going to be. If I had to guess and go out on a limb, I think it's probably right with Jayden Daniels, but I think it's Jayden Daniels or Drake May. I think what's always sketchy is Drake May has so much hype, and build up forever. He's been that guy. Like, oh, that was the guy. This is the guy for sure. He was even competing with Caleb Williams. And then all of a sudden, as the draft process went on, he, like, started to slip. So what I mean by sketchy is when people are doing these mock drafts, those guys who start to slip but who are actually projected to go to #1 or #2, it feels like once the draft actually shows up, all of a sudden it falls into place. And all of a sudden he's there. So I could easily see it being Drake May. That's the part that's tricky. So we'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, see, I don't know who these. I mean, it could be a few. All right, if I had to put together a mock draft, which I'm gonna lay out my mock draft here too. What I'm thinking. Obviously, one's already in. So we can kind of mute that there, but I'm gonna go Jayden Daniels, Drake May, and I think the pick stays. I think it's gonna stay Patriots. I think Belichick's gone. They used to always trade down. I think Belichick's gone, and I think they have a new era in there. I think they're gonna do Drake May. And then at #4, I actually think we have another scenario where it stays pat, because that's just how it works. And I'm going to even write cards because I think it's going to stay pat. I think #4 stays Joe Alt. I think it goes Joe Alt. And then number 6. See, this is where things get tricky. This is where I think the Giants also would stay, but I actually think they might take a quarterback. So it's a tough call. I could either see number 4 staying with Marvin Harrison, or I could end up seeing that be the trade spot. Like, obviously, that could easily be the trade spot. But I also feel like they don't want to trade back enough to lose out on Marvin. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to say Giants in a shocker. I'm going to say it's Giants, and they're going to go and get J.J. McCarthy. Purely because Cardinals don't want to trade for that far back. Then there goes Marvin Harrison. And then 7. I think 7 is where you're going to see more trades. Oh man, I can't wait to see who is it going to be. Who is it going to actually be? So the Titans are at number 7. All right. See, that's where it's going to get tricky. I think the Titans trade out. I think Titans are gone. And I think this is either where you're going to have a Vikings or Broncos. And if I had to pick, I'm going to guess you're going to get Broncos. Because I think at this point, they're going to miss out on J.J. McCarthy. And I think Broncos are still going to want to get their guy. And I think this is weirdly going to be a Bo Nix scenario. So this is just a hypothetical. I'm going to write this on. This is like a crazy scenario. More likely scenarios is probably what this guy has to say, where the Broncos or the Vikings are the ones that are trading up. Number 3 pick, I personally don't see it happening. I don't see the trade happening. But just, I mean, all the rumors, I mean, maybe the rumors are all false, but that just seems, I don't know, man. That just seems crazy. That just seems crazy to me. I don't see it happening. But, you know, I guess here we go. We'll have to wait and see. All right, here's the next pick. There you go. There you go. Jayden Daniels. How about that? How about that? So there you go. Drake May ended up slipping. People saw the tape, didn't like it. They went with Jayden Daniels. That's actually a shocker. Okay, Jayden Daniels it is. I'm impressed. I'm shocked. Jayden Daniels is good though. I mean, Jayden Daniels I think could be really good. I think there's some serious talent in this draft in terms of just like top heavy potential. Like I'm a big obviously Marvin Harrison, he's gonna be good I think no matter what. But Malik Neighbors is legit. I also personally like, I mean, Odunze, he's got so much talent. I like Quinion Mitchell. I'm a big Quinion Mitchell guy, the corner. And let me see if they show any more corners. Yep, these are my 2 top corners, Darian Arnold and Quinion Mitchell. Those are the 2 that I really like. So it's kind of funny, though. You have varying opinions a lot of the times on these corners. Let me see if, yeah, Cooper DeJean, he's good. I don't think I would play him at corner. I am not a Kool-Aid guy. I don't like Kool-Aid. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a Nate Wiggins guy. So I don't know. I don't know how that plays out. I wouldn't mind this happening for the Texans. I wouldn't mind that. We need interior defensive lineman help. And from what I've heard, Johnny Newton's pretty good. I haven't watched a lot on him, but from what I've heard, he's pretty good. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. So right now, yeah, this is perfectly in line. Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, exactly how a lot of people predicted it to go. Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right, let's see if there's any rumors that are kind of popping around. That's what I want to be checking. I often go to Bleacher Report for these. See, I want to see it. This is if there ever was a trade, this is the place that's going to have a trade. So, oh wow. Let's try something different. Okay. See, this is what I want to see. Caleb Williams goes. Then Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Raiders were rumored to trade up. I kept seeing those rumors. They didn't even have a chance. All the hate on David Tepper and the Panthers franchise, all because of really CJ Stroud. I think it's so funny. I love it. Absolutely love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. What can I say? I know. No New England trade is right. I don't think it's going to come. I don't think it's going to come. We'll see, though. We'll see. Nolan's a diehard Vikings fan. We'll see. We'll see. Still got to let it play out here, but I don't see it. My thing is I want to see, holy cow, look at this history of quarterbacks taken by the Bears since 2000 to start a game. Yeah, that's a hefty list. I'm sure I wanted to see what the Texans, Browns, other those teams are too. That's just how it goes. It's literally how it goes in the NFL. It's so hard to find a quarterback. Yeah, it definitely is not easy. But, yeah. By the way, feel free to check out my YouTube series going right now. It's the Oakland Sentinels YouTube series. They're an expansion team. We deal with the scenario, the quarterback issue. We ended up drafting a quarterback, and we're having that season played out. I'm excited to release episode 4, so things are kind of picking up. We just had our first game of the season, and then should be releasing episode 4 here again soon. So it's yeah, this quarterback thing is a real deal issue. There's no way around it. So you know, every team is trying to figure out, and every team it feels like ends up taking a swing that they really shouldn't be taking. And so that's what I'm intrigued is looking back at these decisions, what it ends up actually being a right or a wrong decision. That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the big kicker. So we'll see how it all plays out. There you go. Look at this. There you go. Drake May picked. There you go. See, so far no trades. See, now we gotta wait. We gotta wait for number 4. That's gonna be the thing. You gotta wait for number 4 to figure out if there's gonna be a trade. It's so funny. The rumors have been spreading like crazy. Okay, is there gonna be a trade that's gonna be made for, is there gonna be a trade that's gonna be made for one of the top quarterbacks? Well, there you go. I don't see it. Not one of the top 3 at least. So there you go. It's played out like that thus far. Adam Schefter, one source said there is 0 chance that the Patriots trade the number 3 pick. They will stick and take the quarterback of the future. See, there you go. That's so funny. So funny. right. Hello, hello, Galaxy Jim. What is up? Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. See how this all plays out. Um, see, with no trades being made, I just feel like there's got to be. I feel like the pressure has got to be on the Cardinals right now. Like, you know that the conversation's taking place, and there's probably the Vikings, and then you have the Vikings, you have the Broncos, both of which are desperate need a quarterback. You could have the Giants. Like, I think personally, Giants are a more realistic scenario, because you have the Vikings and the Broncos are picks 11 and 12. That's so far back to go from 4 to 11 and 12. You're pretty much saying, okay, we're going to get whatever's left over, essentially. It's just a long way to fall. And I think if the rumors are true that the Giants are making trades up, I just think personally, there's no way. I just think more likely than not, Giants are going to do it. Giants are going to do it. Cardinals need a star through trading down would be dumb. Yeah, their whole team is mid. That is 100% correct. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I mean, if you're in a good enough position, like if you can do a scenario like this for the Cardinals, and you're only trading down 2 picks, and you're essentially coming to this pick right here, right? I mean, I feel like you're still gonna get Nabbers, and I like Malik Nabbers. Like I'm a big Malik Nabbers guy. I I just think it would be crazy. It would be crazy to pass on. I don't know. I just think it would be crazy to go back that far. That just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. But we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see. Nolan, this is as good as your. I mean, this is your day. This is your pick right here, Nolan. I mean, are the Cardinals gonna trade up or not? Like that's the real question in all this. Are the Cardinals gonna trade up? I mean, trade back or not? And are the Vikings gonna trade up? Do they have enough in the tank? Because it starts to end up, if you're not getting like Drake May, who's such a top level like prospect per se, and you're getting a JJ McCarthy, then like what is worth it? Like I feel like you're a little restricted on how much you actually want to give up for JJ McCarthy. I feel like if I'm the Vikings, you end up just wanting to go, okay, I'm just gonna hold pat. We're gonna wait and see. Like I don't know. That's just me though, right? I don't know. It just seemed it'd just be a little crazy to think that any other way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oftentimes than not, when you think it's gonna end up going one way, and then it goes like oh, there's gonna be a million trades. Trust me. The rumors are crazy. Look, there you go. Cardinals are not expected to trade number 4 after last year's movement all around the first round. The Cardinals are expected to stay put and take an offensive weapon. It's going to be Marvin Harrison most likely. Look at the Texans fans repping it at the draft. Can't even believe they would go to that. That's so funny. That's so funny. No picks in the first, but they're still showing up on day one. Way to rep it. Let's go. I'm all aboard the JJ train now. You have to be. And you're an Ohio State fan. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You might have to be all aboard the Sam Darnold train. That's the problem. We take Nix or Penix at 11, I'm going to be unwell. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. Yep. See, yeah, I'm not sure who it's gonna be, but I can't believe they did Drake May like this. They already put him in the number 10, Mac Jones. Why are they putting this bad vibes already out? They could have picked any other number. Why did you pick 10? You could have picked any other number. I get it. He was I think he was number 10 in college, but you don't do that. put him in number 10 right off the bat. Things won't work out well for this guy. Yep, there you go. Marvin Harrison, selected by the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison, selected by the Cardinals. There you go. There you go. I'm sure he'll say it here too. See, there you go. Marvin Harrison is a Cardinal. It kind of always, it feels like everything just ends up falling into place exactly how it was predicted like 2-3 months ago. And then all the rumors are always end up being like way fake. Bonaventure, yo, what's up? What is up, Bona? Bonaventure, he's a diehard Ravens fan, so there you go. I don't even know what pick the Ravens have. I mean, do they have a first round pick? Are they late? I think they're late in the draft, aren't they? Let's see, what's the draft order? What do we got here? What do we got coming up? We're here. We just finished 4. Going on the Chargers. Chargers rumor was Joe Alt. Like it was a done deal. They're going to take Joe Alt. So that'll be fascinating to see. Are the Ravens on the board? Yeah. Ravens. You got to wait all the way till 30. So that's going to be my hometown Niners fans and Ravens. They're going to have to be waiting until pick 30. Yeesh. Yeesh. That is a ways to wait, friendo. I don't know if I have it in me to wait that long. We'll have to see though, because if there was ever a pick for the Texans to trade back into, it's going to be a pick in that range. So we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's going to be the tricky side to all this. Draft an OT. Yeah, I mean freaking Ronnie Staley. I mean that guy. It feels like he's like so goated when he plays, but then you just never know if he's going to play. So I'm right there with you, praying you're gonna have anything. Yeah, you're gonna have an OT. I mean, yes, 100%. I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you. Ronnie Staley, just a little plug for the my other videos. Yeah, Ronnie Staley ends up being the first pick that I take in the expansion draft, in the Oakland Sentinels expansion series that I created here. So make sure to go check that out. I'll it's listed on the channel. So. Make sure to take a look at that. But yeah, the sad part about Ronnie Staley and why he was in the expansion draft was because he always is injured, and when he plays, he's a Pro Bowler. But my goodness, it's the matter of is he going to play or not. But man, hey, at the same time though, the Ravens they don't have many holes, but now after this offseason, it feels like they kind of have some holes now. That defense was stacked, but then they lost a bunch of players if I remember right. They lost quite a few players, so. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how it plays out. I love this. Arizona Cardinals offensive core. Like there's something to be massively excited about. It's Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison versus everybody. It literally is like everybody. That's so funny to me. That's so funny. Because, James Conner is solid, but he's like 29, almost 30, I think. Michael Wilson, he was okay. Trey McBride, he was pretty good. He's young and up and coming. But they're acting as if this is something to be so proud of. I love it. Love it when they post stuff like this. Yeah, we'll see how this falls into place here. What are the Chargers going to do, though? What are the Chargers going to do? I think we're going to be in a situation where it's exactly what I said originally. When I originally just had Marvin Harrison here, and then I had J.J. McCarthy here, I think we're on a fast track to that. But I think it's just going to be a flip-flop, and the Giants are just going to settle, and they're going to be able to take J.J. I think that's the craziest part, is it's going to end up settling in that way, which is just crazy to think. That's just so funny. Now, Bono, when you say for sure receiver, here's the thing. Are you saying Ravens get a receiver? Because I feel like every year it's the same routine of Ravens attempting to finally find a receiver. So, no, I don't think that's going to be the case. Oh, you think Chargers are going to take a receiver? Nah, I just don't. Yeah, that's actually, what am I talking about? That is the need, but it's Jim Harbaugh. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is the same routine. He just loves running the ball, and that's it. Yeah, they got rid of Mike Williams and Keenan. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Yeah, they got rid of both of them. I mean, Justin Herbert has like practically no one. It feels like I don't even know I don't even know what the roster's like. I literally don't even know what the roster's like. Let's see, Chargers roster or wide receivers. Is Palmer even still there? Like, I legit don't even know who's on the team anymore. Yeah, Palmer's their only guy. And then Quentin Johnston. I am not a pro Quentin Johnston guy. I've seen that guy drop so many balls. Yeah, they are not looking good. Yeah, I feel like if it was any other coach, you're taking a receiver. If it's any other coach, you're taking a receiver. I'm like, freaking Jim Harbaugh. This guy he's ground and pound through and through. Run the ball way too much. And then I think they have Greg Roman, Bona. Speaking of Bona, Greg Roman was speaking of the Ravens, Greg Roman was on the Ravens for forever, and all he loved to do was run the ball and have bad receivers. So it seems like it's almost just right in line. But we'll find out. We're going to find out who it is. They might already have the pick in, too. They might already have the pick in. We'll have to keep refreshing here. See. There you go. Chargers keeping the pick. No trade. Yep. And there you go. Exactly what I was saying. Ian Rappaport, right? Patience paid off, which means Giants' patience paid off, and if they want a quarterback. I think they're gonna be the first shocker. I think they're gonna be the first shocker of the evening. Yeah, Gus the Bus. Man, when Gus Edwards plays, man, that guy's a big boy. They love to run. I mean, you would love to just run the ball with him. He's a big boy. But I just wonder how long he'll last. Yeah, this is good. This is where things are going to get interesting. And man, the Chargers are taking every bit of that clock. Holy cow. Every bit of that clock. So yeah, see that's one thing I did not know. Joe Alt, I'm watching this. Pat McAfee right here. They're bringing out the big board. See, Joe Alt, look at this. I had no idea. Joe Alt is 6'9"? Like, what the? Like, I feel like it hits a level with an offensive tackle where, like, when you're 6'9", is that a good thing? Like, eventually it hits, you got to get capped on the size. Like, eventually you're like, okay, are you too big? Jeez, Joe Alt. I don't know. Everybody says he's really good, so we'll find out. We'll find out how good he is, but let's see. That's what everybody thinks the pick is. Everybody thinks the pick is that. There you go. Joe Alt. Joe Alt. There you go. See, well, I'm kind of disappointed. I was hoping to just be wrong and to add a little bit more excitement, but what am I talking about? This is the NFL draft. It feels like every year we got this consistent. This is consistently how it goes. So far we have Joe Alt, number 5, right? I said McCarthy. Okay, that was a late switch, but still, I mean, that's what I said. Either way, I think it's going to end up being this way. Marvin Harrison ends up with the Cards. J.J. McCarthy ends up with the Giants. That's what I think is probably going to end up happening. So we're going to find out. I mean, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's a trade. I'm hoping we get a trade. I want something. You know. Look at this. Don't be shocked if the Vikings stay put and land number 11. Or land J.J. McCarthy at number 11. See, this is my opinion here. So first off, Pro Football Talk, PFT, that's ran by, I can't even remember his name. He was actually just on here. He's a diehard Vikings fan. So I'm not going to be shocked if the reason he's writing that is because he's wishing that. Because my personal opinion is you can't have that many rumors swirling around that the Giants are going to say, okay, peace, we're going to get somebody. I just don't see it. I don't see it that happening, and then they're not going to take a quarterback. You know? So, we'll find out. We'll find out, but that would be shocking to me. See, now let's see where this is going to end up. Every one of these picks is long. And now Giants. Yep, Giants are on the clock. Here's the kicker with the Giants. Okay, you have Daniel Jones, and I am not a Daniel Jones guy. There's no way. I'm not a Daniel Jones guy. But the problem with the Giants is, can you imagine a scenario where they draft a quarterback and they still have Daniel Jones after they just paid him that fat contract and they draft him at number 6? Like, they could want to draft a quarterback, but drafting him at number 6 is crazy. That's where things are going to get crazy. It's like, yeah, I don't see that scenario playing out. That's the part that's going to be a little crazy. What is the pick going to be is the real kicker here. What is the pick going to be? See, I could see this going, like I said, I could see it. Most likely, I think J.J. McCarthy, it makes the most sense to me. However, because of how everything's fallen, there still hasn't been a trade-up. Because of that reason, I could also see a big shake-up. Where it's like, meaning they just say, you know what, we're standing pat. We're going to see how far quarterbacks fall. Maybe we'll end up taking a quarterback in the second round. That's the tricky part of this whole scenario is like, I think they're part of like all the rumors, all of that stuff. Oh, this is great. That's classic. Quentin Johnson realizing he's receiver number 1. How funny is that? Yeah, I don't think that they set out with the intent to have him be receiver number 1 that quickly. That's one thing I can tell you right now is I don't think that was the intent. Like when he was at TSU, like he was legit for sure. But like I never liked how he didn't high point the ball. Like he never was catching with his hands. And that was always the thing to me that I was just like, that's not something I'm like jumping up and down about. So if you're not making catches with your hands, he was like catching with his body and stuff, and then he's coming into the NFL and he's having dropping issues. It's like, well, duh. Like he was showing signs of this in college, and this is college. So there you go. Next pick's in. It looks like it's Malik Nabers. Neighbors. Here's Bill Belichick. They went the no quarterback route. Well, Nolan, I think you are. You've got to be hopeful now. You got to be hopeful now for J.J. McCarthy. Because yeah, that just doesn't seem like. Spencer Rattler seems like a nice mid-round quarterback pick. Yeah, I could see that. Although I feel like at the same time, Spencer Rattler from all those shows and everything, and just how he handled his Oklahoma time. I'm not like a big Spencer Rattler fan. He had a good run. What was that? South Carolina, but I don't know. We'll see what. Yeah, mid-round pick. That'd be nice. Yep, J.J. McCarthy dream is still alive. Is correct. Yep, they are darn right. J.J. McCarthy lives on here. That's so funny. Well, no trades. After all the hype that there's going to be trades, we're 6 picks in and there's no trades. Here's the Malik Neighbors guy is going to be a good pick for them. And to be frank, the Giants have no receivers. You know, they don't have any receivers. They don't have anybody. So I'm not necessarily shocked. I mean, I think it makes sense. But I think a big part of this decision was I think they liked the quarterbacks, but I think they thought, hey, we can't trade Daniel Jones. We can't get rid of Daniel Jones, and it's not going to work out having Daniel freaking Jones and some random quarterback showing up. So I think that's more of the issue than anything. But no, I think it's funny how that works. Chargers are going to start dozing with Alt. Yeah, I think Alt's good. The 6'9" thing is an interesting thing for sure for me. I mean, he looks good. Everybody's high on him. Like, evaluate it like religiously, but I mean, a lot of people are high on him. And one thing about the Chargers is that they do not have an offensive line that's worth a darn. And so I think it's a solid pick. I really do. I think it's a solid pick. What fascinates me about this is everybody's staying pat. And it is, and Bonham mentioned earlier, though, you're picking Joe Alt, which means you're not picking Malik Neighbors. So it's this, you're choosing the offensive lineman over the receiver. I think with how Jim Harbaugh plays, it's probably a good decision. But it's also one of those, like, are you going to regret this in a few years? Offensive linemen are always so risky. As much as you can say, oh my gosh, this guy looks great, it always takes a while for him to transition to the NFL. It's part of the reason I just am, when you're building a team, I'm not necessarily pro drafting offensive linemen high in a draft. But it's Jim Harbaugh. Expect no more, expect no less there. So J.J. McCarthy, though, the J.J. Dream is still alive, is a real thing. Yeah, we're gonna find out if it stays that way. We're gonna find out. Titans on the clock. See, I think with this Titans pick, this is where the trade takes place. And I personally think, from all the rumors I've heard, the Vikings were high on J.J. McCarthy, okay, and Drake May. If I think there's going to be a trade that's going to be made, I actually think Vikings here. So if I was going to pick here just to shake it up, and I think this is where J.J. McCarthy goes. So this is where, that's what I would be predicting here. 8, and then I think Broncos settle in because they don't have a lot of draft capital. I think they just settle in at their pick, and I do think they take a quarterback. That's my opinion here, though. Like, I'm thinking, okay, Vikings, we already have this all played out here, but I think Vikings, this is the moment. If there was ever a moment, it's going to be now to get somebody, if there's ever a moment. I can see it because there's so many offensive tackles they can take. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, though, I'm not a massive pro taking offensive lineman high. Unless you got like a Quentin Nelson, like some obvious ones. I feel like some of the obvious ones, Penei Sewell, Quentin Nelson, those were so blatantly obvious. I feel like there's been so many years where offensive linemen get so overtyped. But I'm pretty sure they keep it. Yeah. Yeah, I could see, you're talking about Titans. I could see them keeping it. But when are the Vikings? The Vikings have to jump, right? What pick are they? Are they pick 11? They got to think either Broncos are jumping them. Let's get these. Let me pull up the picks really quick. Okay, let's look at this. You have the Vikings at number 11. Okay, they're ahead of the Broncos 4 now. They're ahead of the Broncos 4 now. So it's like, this is where it gets tricky, is you're going to go, okay, well, if I'm trading up, I've got to move ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. So if I'm the Broncos, I got to move ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. If I'm the Raiders, I got to move ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. Seahawks, move ahead of them. We got a long list. Rams. There was a rumor Rams wanted to get in the top 10. You have this long gauntlet here. And if the Vikings are serious about getting a quarterback, and they're serious about a specific quarterback when they're talking about JJ, gosh, I would just think this would be the time. So, let's see, though. Let's see what this pick is. We're going to find out here soon enough. I just personally am going, in my head, I'm like, you can choose the route of staying pat, but you gotta think. You've gotta think that offers are being made. That's what that's what I think. There's gotta be offers being made. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's hit that refresh button. Let's see. Neighbors. Yep, Giants bluffed at quarterback at number 6. Yeah, see? See, that's what I'm... We'll have to wait and see. Pick should be coming in here soon, any second. Let's see. There you go. They do take an offensive tackle. Wow. That actually is shocking. So they take J.C. Latham. That to me is shocking. See, I don't know. I know that I'm not super high on the J.C. Latham guy. Maybe they are. Like, I know that they're in desperate need. Let's check out this J.C. Latham. Yeah, this is the big boy from Alabama. I mean, I know people are high on him. He's a bulldozing tackle, but at the same time, it just continues the like high risk. See, all the mock drafts I've watched leading up to this, some people really like him. Some people don't. He'll range anywhere from like in the picks in the 20s to the back here to this number 7, all the way up to number 7. So you end up taking a guy that, like, are you really pro him specifically? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's like, it feels like it's a little bit more of a need than it is anything else. So that's, I don't know. That's where I have a difficult time with this type of stuff. Is you're like, are you just drafting for need? And is there any offers on the table right now that are coming through from, say, Vikings, Broncos, or whatever as a Titans, and you're passing on them? You know what I mean? That's what I wanna know. It's kind of shocking to me, but it is what it is. Malik Neighbors. I think Malik Neighbors is gonna be good. Let's see. Who's the next pick going to be is really the key here. Yeah, I could see the Falcons going for Odunze. I mean, I feel like he's the last, like, top talent that you have here. That's where things are, like, tricky here, because yes, but at the same time, all the Falcons have is skill players, so I mean, I guess you could go for another one. You got Kirk Cousins. You got to make something happen. You know what I mean? But I just, that's the part where it just gets tricky. Is you're going, okay, I feel like Falcons now either, I think personally, you're going to either go, I think you either go defensive player on some sort of level, and I know there's not a ton of them, but I feel like that's one of the positions that's probably lacking is defense. And then I think you go defense and or trade. I think where things are going to get interesting is there's no way, which maybe I'm going to be shocked here, everything just settles. Everything just settles and no trade is made. I mean, if that's the case, that's going to be crazy. I think that's going to be more shocking than just everything staying pat. I mean, that's what I'm thinking at least. That's where my headspace is at. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out real quick. Yeah, you know what's funny about Odunze, though? I mean, yeah, he fell in their laps, yeah. What's funny about Odunze, though, is I feel like he's... The tough part with Odunze is I think he's the clear number 3 of the receivers. Everybody has varying opinions, and that's where I actually that's why I think that probably won't happen. Is because everybody has varying opinions. So I guess Falcons could be one of the ones that has like, oh my gosh, Odunze is amazing, right? But if that's the case, you're in a situation where, okay, then you ended up taking him, but did you really desperately need a receiver? No. So I don't know. We'll find out here. We're gonna find out here, but yeah, Dallas Turner. A lot of people are high on Dallas Turner. I like Latu. I know he has some injury concerns. Yeah, the defensive tackle out of Texas, people are high on. It's not really a loaded defensive class. Like, to be frank, it's just not. So I don't know. We're gonna find out quick though. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it all falls into place. All right, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? See, number 8. I'm gonna go. I think Dallas Turner is probably who it is gonna be. I think that was a good prediction. Like Bona said, I think Dallas Turner makes sense. But what makes it so crazy to me, I don't know. What makes it so crazy to me is I just feel like I feel like the Vikings should be there, or the Broncos should be there, or the Raiders, or the Rams, or even the Seahawks. You know, so I think Seahawks have more of a like, hey, let's wait and see type of scenario. I think Raiders have that as well, but I don't know. Wow. Shocker of the evening. Oh, let's listen to this. Let's see. Wow. Michael Penix. Michael Penix. Wow, that's the first shocker. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Michael Penix. I can't believe that. That's crazy. That's legit crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Dude, yeah, Shefty was right. See, okay, that's one of the rumors that came out. Oh, what was it, like 2-3 hours before this? And I was like, no chance. No chance are the Falcons taking Michael freaking Penix. Yeah, exactly. Cousins going to be looking over his shoulder. Yeah, what the heck? I think it's going to be, I think Penix is going to be looking over his shoulder, but wouldn't that be crazy if Penix wins the starting job? That would even be funnier. That would be an all-time classic. That would be an all-time classic. See, people were high on Penix, and which kind of like, to me, like, Penix is crazy talented, but I also feel like he was running the spread, that, spread out offense, doesn't normally translate super well, not necessarily calling all his plays. A lot of times he's throwing in an open space. He has a massive freaking arm, and he can move around. I don't know. It's just, that is crazy. And you would think the Falcons would be going for, like, hey, we're trying to win the Super Bowl and do something with Kirk Cousins. I think they're going to settle in nicely as a Kirk Cousins team and give mid as they come. This is going to be hilarious to see. Michael Penix with the 8th pick. That's crazy. That one's crazy. Breaking: Falcons are drafting Michael Penix at number 8. See, there's a shocker. That one's crazy. That one just shook up everything here. Raheem Morris loved him, apparently. Well, good for them. Falcons to Cousins 6 weeks after signing him. Yeah, that's gonna be a good description of the situation. Holy cow. Yep. That's just such a shocker. I mean, you obviously liked him enough to do this. I feel like this could either be like, oh my gosh, genius move, sit behind Kirk Cousins, oh, this is going to work out beautifully, oh, this is going to work out great. Or it could be one of those scenarios where it's terrible. It's terrible, and he ends up being like an E.J. Manuel or something stupid. Christian Ponder. Like, I have no idea. Hey, but they've had their luck, man. I mean, when quarterbacks sit behind other quarterbacks, there's been a lot of luck. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, who's at number 9? Who's at number 9? Bears. This is where Odunze is going to go. This is for sure where Odunze is going to go. So to go back on the Bona picking who's going to be, where Odunze is going to go, this is the one that I think is going to be Odunze. No doubt in my mind. This is going to be Odunze. Yeah, this is going to be Odunze. And the crazy part is if the Bears are going to be loaded. The Bears, if they get Odunze, are going to be loaded. Like, I'm a big Romeo Odunze fan for sure. I don't think he's necessarily the best of the group, but I think he's good. Like, I think he's really good. My big thing is he's another one of the spread guys. I don't know how big of a route tree he has and all those things, but I think that, you're going to have a loaded receiving core. Keenan Allen, Romeo Odunze, and DJ Moore. Holy cow, that's a stacked group if they end up getting Odunze. So I guess I could see them going another route just because it's on a prominent need. But at the same time, I think, I don't know. I think this kind of ends up being a no-brainer. And then plus the whole thing with Romeo Odunze and Caleb Williams. I don't know if you guys saw that. Flying on a plane together. Let me look that one up. That one's crazy. Yeah, right here, 9 hours ago, I have discussed what it would be like to be their Bears teammates. This is the whole thing. They flew on a plane together to get to Detroit, sat next to each other. How crazy is that? I don't know. I think it makes too much logical sense. The other one, though, the other outlier here is Brock Bowers. I think they have they signed a few tight ends, or they signed a tight end. I don't know. Whoa! There you go. Let's look at this. Finally. Finally. There you go. Wow. No chance. I want to see the trade details. Yeah, okay. Back-to-back picks, baby. Yeah. Never mind, ESPN graphics slide. Yeah, I'm like, there's no chance, right? There's no chance the Vikings traded up and kept their pick at 11. I mean, that'd be like playing Madden at this point. Here you go. Here's the details. Jets get 11, 129, 157. Vikings get 10 and 203. There you go. There you go. There it is. That's big time. Yep, Bears got Romeo Odunze, and I somehow missed that. There you go. Easy enough. That pick must have just went like this. They must have had that thing turned in already. So Romeo Odunze, obviously going to the Bears. So I mean, that's fairly easy. This is a legit graphic, though. Like if there's a legit graphic, this is a legit graphic. That's a good offensive team. That's real talent. Man, I'm interested though. 11, 129, 157. That doesn't feel like much. What is 129? What is 129? Do we know? I need to look that up. Yeah, what is 129? I think looks like it's round 4. Yeah, early round 4. Okay. And there you go. There you go. J.J. McCarthy. So it was forever Drake May, right? Drake May, or it was and J.J. McCarthy were the two for the Vikings. So hopefully, Nolan, you're pumped about that. I don't know, but hopefully you are, because that's what happened. So, I mean, not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it depends on your opinion about J.J. McCarthy. I would be much more comfortable taking him at 10 than at 4. So, all the power to him there. I think, I don't know. That's not bad. That's not bad. Bears are loaded. Amen to that. Yeah, I think Bears are loaded up. My thing with the Bears, though, is who's their coach? I don't know. I've never seen the guy coach. I don't even know. I think they have a new coordinator this year. That will be the key with the Bears. That will be the key with the Bears. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I am whelmed. That could be overwhelmed. That's so funny. Yeah, I think Bears wide receiver core is going to be great. Holy cow, that's going to be a legitimate receiver core. I mean, you're actually loaded up now. So we'll see what happens. I think it's crazy. J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. Now, for all my fantasy football fans out there, see the question is, how is Justin Jefferson going to be with J.J. McCarthy or Sam Darnold? Right? Nolan just said this right here, right? I mean, you got Sam Darnold. So, oh man, is Justin Jefferson still going to be the first pick with those in fantasy football drafts with those guys you're starting quarterbacks? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think that's going to be the case. So, no, I think overall, that's the type of shocking stuff. That's the type of shocking stuff I was looking for. So, yeah, I think that's a shocker. I can't believe. So, here go. Okay, so now we got the Jets on the clock. You would think Jets are going to get offensive linemen. Who's left? Let's see a big board. I want to look up a big board. The other rumor is Brock Bowers. I mean, yeah, Brock Bowers, the guy out of Georgia. I mean, that guy's good. Or 2023. No, thank you. Good old PFF. Let's see if they show their big board here. All right, see Brock Bowers, Joe Alt. What else? Do we have any offensive linemen? See, they're high on Funga. Some people like him, some people don't. Some people like him at guard, too. That actually wouldn't be a bad pick for them. Fashanu's another one that some people are high on. Okay, so here's the perfect example. When I was making fun of the J.C. Latham pick, this is why I was making fun of it. So you have the ranks here at 18, okay? And then they take him at 7. Like, that is, if you ever want to talk about a need, that's a need. And then, okay, you're taking a needy pick. I don't know. I'm never pro needy picks for teams that are bad. And the teams that are bad is like the Titans are. Like, I'm not a big believer in that. And the other thing is, too, is it's an offensive lineman. Offensive linemen just as hit as miss or specifically offensive tackles, just as hit as miss as quarterbacks are. I mean, it's a dangerous game to play. So, anyways, that's an interesting one. We'll see who the Jets pick here, but yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that one. I wouldn't say so. This will be interesting to see, though. Interesting to see. Yeah, some of these guys, I like Terry and Arnold, and they're super high on Quinny Mitchell. I am too. I watched film on this Quinny Mitchell kid. He's talented. Like, this Quinny Mitchell kid's good. So I'm intrigued by this one. We're gonna have to wait and see here what the pick is. Let's see if we get something pumping through here. Who the Jets are gonna take. But man, most of the action just took place. Yeah, NFL right now. Well, that's 5 quarterbacks. That's 5 quarterbacks. And the Broncos are the last piece of this puzzle. So we could potentially have 6 in 11. Nolan said at the beginning of this, 6 in 15. We might get 6 in 11. Or 6 in 12. We might get 6 in 12. That would be crazy. There you go. And now, for the first time in NFL history, 5 quarterbacks have gone in the first 10 picks. There you go. I mean, this is nutty. This is crazy. That's crazy. All right, this is where it's gonna get interesting here. Who do they say? Jets just got done trading Zach Wilson. That was just a travesty of a pick 3 years ago. I mean, could you imagine if they take a quarterback? That would be hilarious. But it ain't gonna happen. I mean, we got most of a run on quarterbacks. So yeah, this is gonna get tricky. I don't know how it's gonna fall into place, but this is gonna be an interesting one to say the least. What picks do we have coming up? All right, let's get a pick tracker up here too. Let's get a draft pick tracker. They should have that on here. Yep, draft pick tracker. Pick is in. And the Broncos are up. I'm going to have to do a little side thing here. Yeah, this is going to get interesting. I'm not sure how it's gonna. My question in all this is, where does Brock Bowers fall? Because some people have started to predict him falling big time, and mostly it was because of the quarterbacks. What is crazy here, though, is you don't have Brock Bowers yet, and he's highly talented, supremely talented. A lot of people love Brock Bowers. Then the other thing is, too, is no defensive player. We haven't had a defensive player go yet. Like, we all understand it's an offensive-driven league, but my goodness, to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are either wide receivers or quarterbacks. I mean, that is a shift if I've ever seen one. Everything's always been trenches, trenches, trenches. And then all of a sudden you have this massive shift like that. That's crazy. Well, the other thing, too, for Nolan, too, that I was just going to say here is the fact that the Vikings keep their pick. So the Vikings are actually going to keep their pick at 23. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But now we're just in a waiting game. Who are the Jets going to take? Who are the Jets going to take? Man, they must be having a difficult time. This is probably the longest pick we've seen so far. Anyways, for those watching, little plug for my series. Make sure to check out the Oakland Sentinels expansion team series. I think it's written down as a Madden rebuild or Madden expansion team. So make sure to definitely check those videos out. We're moving on to episode 4. We've started the season. We've gone through the whole off season. We did a draft just like this draft. We ended up with the 10th pick and did something similar to the Vikings. So I'll let you guys check that out too. Anyways, it's a good thing. Definitely check it out. Make sure to hit the like button on this video. Make sure to like the other videos and check them out, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and turn that notification bar on. This live stream, first live stream I've ever done. I didn't put much notifications out there or anything, so for all those that had the notifications on, you get to see it. All those subscribes, you get to see it. So make sure to do that, and future references, maybe I'll get a little more vocal and a little bit more marketing for when I go on. I figured, man, I'm going to be watching this anyways, so might as well go on here and make it go live. So, anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It's big time, and it's a good space for all us nerds. So our sports nerds here. So. All right, let's see. Pick is in. Whoa, there you go. Fasanu out of Penn State. So if I refresh, let's see if they actually send it through here. This might be one of those they got to wait. Nope, yeah, Fasanu out of Penn State. So there you go. Listen, I don't mind the pick. And I think I've heard a lot of people have this shared opinion. But after what took place last year with Aaron Rodgers, like, that is one of the most crazy things that's ever taken place in sports. Second drive, one of the most hyped up teams, hyped up players, biggest market in all of America, had bringing in over Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP, 3 or 4-time MVP, so hyped up to get a torn Achilles on his second drive. One of the craziest things that's ever taken place. You can't let that happen again. Like, I know they got Tyron Smith, but he's also injury prone. They got Morgan Moses on the other side from the Ravens. He's also kind of injury prone. Both of them are old. You got to go this route. So I'm happy they did this for Aaron Rodgers' sake. I don't know if this guy's any good. Listen, I don't know. But for his sake, I'm just hoping, cross our fingers, that he lasts longer than one game. I want to see the guy play on the Jets. And as a Texans fan, as a Kings fan, I know the suffering of teams, and Jets are one of those teams that have suffered for years and years. So all I can say is I hope for his sake, that he can stand up there in the pocket, and hopefully Fashanu's good. Okay, this is the Broncos pick. So this is the pick we've been kind of talking about here off and on a little bit, right? Broncos, Vikings. Who's going to trade up? Well, it ended up being the Vikings. The Broncos got to settle, and probably they settled because they didn't have much draft capital. This is going to be interesting because I think the need is so prominent at the quarterback position that they're going to take a quarterback. So that's the part here that's crazy, is because we could be in a situation right now. We could be in a situation where we could have 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. Now, I didn't think the league was that quarterback needy. Just a year ago, I was thinking, man, this is the best quarterback play we've seen in a long time. That is not the case. As things have changed, and man alive, is there so many teams that are in need of quarterbacks, and you're seeing them swing right now. So this is going to be interesting. We could have 12. At number 12, we could have 6 quarterbacks taken in the top 12 picks. The 6th is going to be Bo Nix. It's going to be for sure Bo Nix if anybody's going to take him. I mean, who they're going to take. But, like, is it going to happen? The other option here, too, is, and I don't know what the Broncos' thought process is. I don't know. But the other option is, and I don't think this is what's going to happen, is you just delay it. You say, never mind, we're not going to take Bo Nix, and we are just going to hold off even longer, maybe do a trade back in. We don't have a lot of assets, so we're just going to wait around. That's an option. I don't think it's going to happen. So, pick is in. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. They're still waiting to announce it, so I guess we'll wait around here for a second. But I'm thinking, if I'm going to predict, I'm going Bo Nix. I'm going Bo Nix out of Oregon. I guess originally Auburn. Mr. Be There Forever. Look, they're even talking about it right here. Here, look. Okay, here you go. This is Pat McAfee show talking about it. Bo Nix, yep. See, it's only Bo. Still no defensive players taken. Yeah, Bowers is there. See, we start getting it, but look at where they're ranking Bo Nix. Look at where they're 36, right? So they're ranking Bo Nix so late, and this is what makes this so crazy. The 36th best player could be taken right now. The 36th best player could be taken right now. Like, we don't know yet, but that's hypothetically what's taking place. Oh, and we're gonna have to get to this. What's the latest on Brandon Ayuk? I'm gonna check that out in just a second here. But I don't want to miss this pick. So let's see if we can get this sent through. Bona, they have to take an offensive lineman, right? Yep, Jets for sure had to. Offensive lineman was terrible last year. Chris, you're saying that? Yep, 100%. That's true. Bona, they're definitely going to go overdraft because of the run of the quarterbacks. Probably, right? That's what I would think. I'm thinking that, but man, like, that is a feeling in and of itself. If you have Bill Belichick's big board saying 36th best player and you're taking him 12, I don't think you're going to be jumping up and down feeling great about it. So let's see if pick's in yet. Let's see what they have to say. Right. Okay, so we're going to wait and see. I'm going to hold off for a second here. This is going to get interesting. There's no way around it. This is going to get interesting. I think the biggest key here is if they don't take Bo Nix, who will? Because I think the threat to them is they could choose not to take him. And then it comes back to what you said earlier. Okay, Spencer Rattler? Is that where we're going for? I know there's a few other outliers that are out there. But, I mean, you're not going to roll out Zach Wilson after you just cut Russell Wilson. And you're going to put your job on the line saying, yeah, Zach Wilson's our guy. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's got to be a quarterback. And there you go. Picks in. Looks like it's going to be a quarterback. Sure enough, it is. Here you go. There you go. There you go. Bo Nix. Bo Nix. Yeah. Wow, what a stretch. But man alive, did we just break records in this draft. Quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. Quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. If you had asked me, which is so funny because literally just, I mean, what was it? A month, right around the combine, 2 months ago? I mean, everybody was so high on J.J. McCarthy. We even had a rumor that the Washington Commanders had him as high as number 2, right? That's how crazy that one was. And then to have Michael Penix jump to number 8, that's crazy. Jump Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy, but that's just how this went. So essentially all the quarterbacks are gone. These are the top 6. They're gone. Now it's just a matter of, okay, I think this is when we finally see defense going. You got to start seeing defense going. I mean, it says pick us in for the Raiders. We're going to wait and see that one. I do want to check this out, what Ian Rappaport has to say here. Yep. See, I don't. Okay, if we're gonna jump for a second here on in the trade market, okay, I don't think Brandon Ayuk gets traded. And actually, that would be shocking to me. Here's one of my things: if they were going to trade Brandon Ayuk, I think it would have been earlier. Meaning, you would be trading up. You would be trading up to get one of the top 3 receivers. The drop off to go down to, I guess they could be high on Brian Thomas from LSU. I mean, he's pretty good. But there's a drop off, and it's a clear drop off. Brandon Ayuk is one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, he's proven it. And then to be performing like he is on that stacked of a roster, not stacked of an offense, you just cannot let him just trade away. It will be the A.J. Brown trade all over again that the Titans made. So, cross our fingers. My dad's a big Niners fan. Chris McLean, right? He's a big Niners fan. We got, I know lots of people that are Niners fans. For your guys' sake, I'm hoping he's not traded. I am of the belief, I think it makes a lot more logical sense to let Debo walk than it does to let him walk. So, we'll see how it plays out. But that's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah, here's some Bo Nix information. Private workout with Bo Nix. Day after his pro day. He crushed it. That's funny. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. I think as a Texans fans, I gotta watch this one though. I gotta watch this. I love it. All right, looks like next pick is in, and it looks like it's gonna be. Ooh, we got Aaron Rodgers showing up. Looks like it's gonna be Brock Bowers. Is that true? My source is Chris McLean. Let's see. Let's see if it's true. Let's see if it's true. Boom, it is. Boom, it is. Brock Bowers. So he finally goes. Okay, this is actually shocking to me because the Raiders, if remember correctly, last year they took a high second-round pick and took Michael Mayer as a tight end. So that's a tad bit surprising. I think that was a best available scenario. That was a best available scenario. Because to me, I'm thinking Brock Bowers is the last of the elite level of players. And I think really, in all honesty, the elite level players is Brock Bowers, and then you got to scroll a little bit. Romeo Odunze, scroll a little bit, and Malik Neighbors and up. So it's kind of, he's the last one. He slipped, and I think Raiders. Listen, I like the Raiders. I'm going to be rooting for the Raiders here. I really am going to be rooting for the Raiders. They have a team that's very defensive focused, run focused. I don't know. I'm a believer. I think on some sort of level, I think they can do something. The problem is they got Gardner Minshew, and I dealt with Gardner Minshew last year against the Colts, and I loved it because one day he was great, and the other day he was okay. So, if that's their starting quarterback, I'm not going to be sweating bullets. Being in our division, being in the Texans division, so I'm going to be okay with that. But all right, here. Oh, I'd love a Thanksgiving game. That would be sweet. Love a Thanksgiving game. And beating the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, there's nothing better feeling than that. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I just love how universally the Cowboys are just hated. That's what it's about. All right, here. So let's see where we got here settling in. So we got 14 Saints are on the clock. Okay, so let's head to the big board here. I want to check out and see what players are legitimately out. Okay, I am a Cooper DeShawn guy, so I'm seeing him pop off the page here. I am not as high as these guys are on Cooper DeShawn. I think, and like a lot of people, I think he could play safety. He's written in as a corner. I think he could play and be an elite safety for sure. I do like Quinion Mitchell. I like Latu. I have not watched enough tape on Newton, even though, as far as I understand it, I would love him on the Houston Texans. Everything I've heard about him, I would love on the Houston Texans. Brian Murphy, Bona, you talked about Brian Murphy earlier. The Texas defensive tackle you mentioned earlier in the chat. That would be a cool one for sure. There's some players. I think this is where we're going to start to get. Now we're done with all the celebrity picks. We're done with all the quarterbacks and the receivers, all the fun picks. Now it's really where you're getting into the more of the nitty gritty. Who we taking? Why we taking it? Now, if I'm going to pick the Saints, if I'm the Saints, I'm staying pat here. I'm making a pick. They need somebody legitimate on their team, and they're getting old. If I am them, I'm thinking I'm looking for somebody who's going to make a difference. Maybe a Dallas Turner off the edge. That could be an option. I do like Darian Arnold. I know that Marshawn Lattimore is getting older. Darian Arnold, not bad. If you're a believer in Quinion Mitchell, which I am a believer in Quinion Mitchell, and he's higher up here, you could take Quinion Mitchell. The difficult part is it's always so hard to gauge guys that are coming from Toledo, right? But then you have those Khalil Macks, you have those guys that come out. And if you watch his tape, it's good tape. The guy's physical, the guy's long, the guy's fluid. I mean, he looks legitimate. And if it's just purely based off tape, I think might be the best defensive player in the draft, which is crazy to say because he's from Toledo. But that's the problem, is he's from Toledo. So, anyways, it's a whole feel-out process here. I don't know. I'm of the belief that if I'm the Saints, I'm taking someone who I think is best player available, and I'm staying pat. That's what I'm doing. So let's see if we get a pick here showing up. Saints are at number 4 and are listening to trade offers. See, it's the opposite of what I was going to say here. But I'm trying to figure out who would be trading up here. Pick is in. Pick is in, it says. All right, we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see who that pick is. Sean Payton has never drafted a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, it's because he had Drew Brees his whole career. That wasn't that complicated. It's not as grand of a stat when you put it like that. All right, if pick is in, then who's it going to be here? Who's it going to be? To me, they need some talent. They need some talent. Look at this guy. We're going to lose every game. This is... Okay, I got to see this. That's the Daniel Jones pick from a few years back. That one's a classic. That one's a classic. So funny. All right, I'm leaning towards. I'm thinking if I'm the Saints, I'm either taking one of the corners that I feel really good about. I don't know if I go Cooper DeShawn purely because taking a safety. I understand he's a corner. I would prefer him at safety. I don't want to build around a safety. So if you feel good about Dallas Turner, you take him. If you feel good about one of those interior defensive tackles, either from Texas or Illinois, you take him. If you feel good about a corner, you take him. I don't think they stretch on an offensive lineman. I don't think they do that. I think I'm taking a defensive player because their defense is what's brought them here. So that's what I would stick with. Personally, that's what I'm sticking with. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But I get it. I get it either way. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's gonna get interesting. Wonder where how the cards are all gonna fall into place here. All right, here let's get back to live. Oh, this is the magician. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a second here. Six quarterbacks and 12 picks. It's just crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Let's see. Do we got the pick? No pick yet. No pick yet. Yeah, I mean, the Jets are trying. The Jets are trying. But I love how, okay, this offensive lineman take here, I love how they're making it seem like they got all these elite Pro Bowlers. Tyron Smith is legitimate. That's it. Okay? Tyron Smith is legitimate. When he plays, he's legitimate. This Fasano guy, maybe he's good. We don't know. Morgan Moses has been just a solid offensive lineman or below average. He's kind of, I know he had a success with the Ravens. Is that going to change up? He's getting old. So the John Simpson is hardly ever been a starter. So you get this great wall of MetLife like it's something grand is taking place. I still think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. But, hey, at least they're trying. I'm not going to sit here and say anything other than, hey, at least they're trying. So, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. So, all right, let's see. Is the pick in? What do we got here? Ooh, Fuaga. Okay, so some people like PFF are high on Fuaga. Okay, they ended up taking Fuaga. Me personally, I'm not big on I'm not big on that pick for them. Fuaga, I know he's a physical guy. I personally almost would like him at guard more. Those big maulers like that, they're so unpredictable on if they're going to be a good off the edge. And so it's like, or on the edge. So you're moving them into the guard position. The Saints are literally 1 or 2 years away from being a full tank mode because all of their guys are getting old. And then you're going to have this guy left to be there. And it's just kind of, all the power to him. They're going to get a guard, I think, here probably. If he ends up being good, nobody cares. No harm, no foul. If he doesn't, I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big miss. So, now, it all depends on who's actually there, and who turns out and who doesn't turn out, obviously. But I'm of the belief that you're trying to take just somebody rock solid, somebody good. Maybe that's him. 13 picks in and not one defensive player. Make that 14 picks in. 14 picks in. That's crazy. That's crazy. And now the record has been doubled. First 14 picks have all been offensive players. But that's what this draft was known for. I did not think it was going to happen like this. I thought the Falcons, to be honest, were going to be the ones to take. I genuinely thought like a defensive player. I thought that it would be the Falcons. Falcons defense is okay, but they have older players too. Same scenario, older players again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think there. Yeah, see, yeah. And you're high on, see, Chris, you're high on Fuaga. And I like Fuaga. I don't want to get it wrong. He's big. He's a big mauler. He's a stud. But it's just one of those you got to hit, and you're missing so much. I don't know. Maybe they believe. Maybe they believe in Derek Carr. Maybe they believe in that team. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Fuaga, I mean, he's talented. He's a big mauler. I'm interested to see if he can hang on the outside. Because if he can hang on the outside, then it's great. You got an offensive tackle, that's great. But it's going to be interesting to see if he can, where he's going to go. Is he going to be sliding inside? Guards, or there's a wide range of ways you can get a guard. You know, do you need to draft him in the first round? I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily doing that. Now, if he ends up being Quentin Nelson, then everybody and their mother's going to be pro this. But, you know, we'll see. Bona, going to be another run on O-line. Let's check it out. There might be. I mean, there might be. What are the picks coming up? What are the picks coming up? So we got Colts. I feel like they have talent, though, on the O-line. Maybe. I mean, Seattle's improved. Jags have improved. Bengals still lack there. There might be a run on the O-line. I mean, that could easily be the case. And to be honest with you, you got to think a defensive player is going to go. You look back at this list. Here's what they rank them, right? Deshaun, Mitchell, Latua, Newton, Murphy. This is 8 through 12 defensive players. There goes Fuaga. Then you got another defensive player. It could be. It could be a run. Fashano's already gone. J.C. Latham already gone. Both of guys, I think Latham was over a little bit high on that pick. But if there is going to be a run on O-line, like there is, it feels like every year, I'm thinking Troy Fortuna, obviously, then is going to be the next one. And it seems like from this list, now I don't know a lot about these guys. This is way off. Jaden Daniels, they have at 21. What the heck am I looking at? I don't think he's that bad. Where's it going to end up? That's my question. Is who's going to be the last one to go? Well, let's see this. Bo Nixon and Zach Wilson have arrived in Denver. That's funny. Let's see what he has to say here. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. That changes everything. That changes, yes, there you go. Changes everything, you know? So there you go. And he's probably going to play tackle. He's probably going to play tackle, and he could, listen, that could easily end up being a good pick. And it's a need. I mean, that could easily be a good pick. Easily? I mean, it easily could be. I didn't know that. Because it just felt like, I'm like, if you're not going need, then don't sit here and go that route. But that makes more sense. That makes more sense. All right, what do we got here coming up? Colts on the clock. Got a lot of... who we got? Question, who's the Colts? See, this is Pat McAfee's pick here. Tune into Pat McAfee. He's going to be all hyped about this pick. See, Mike, here you go. Latu. Right. See, okay. There you go. Latu, I actually am high on Latu. He might be my, I mean, I really do like Latu. The whole injury thing, I just don't know anything about injuries. That's the problem. So I don't know anything about injuries. I just saw the pop up on Bleacher Report today that was saying something along the lines of like, hey, he has injury issues. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know that was a thing. The Latu, I think they probably have him rated high. Let's see if they do. Yeah, they do. See, I personally like him, and I like him more than the Dallas Turner kid. I think the Dallas Turner kid is like, he looks super fancy and long and all this great stuff. But the problem is I also feel like he disappears someplace. And then look at the size. That's just so small. So, I mean, in terms of edge, I felt like Latu was the most productive. And he just seems like, at this point in time, you just take the most productive. You just take the best available, you know? So, I don't know. It is interesting. It is interesting where this is going to fall. You know, now we have Latu gone. I want to know where this Quinion Mitchell kid's going to go, because if he's slipping into the 20s, it's such a steal in my mind. Anybody go put on the tape of Quinion Mitchell, you're going to say, oh my gosh, this guy's popping off the page. And really, in all reality, Cooper DeShawn is the same way. Cooper DeShawn is a really good player. Cooper DeShawn's one of those kids that if he's going in the 20s, if he's going to the 20s, he's going to go to a good team, play safety, corner, whatever, and then he's going to make a big impact. If he was drafted high, he may disappear in the defensive backcourt. But if he goes to a good team, all of a sudden you could have a real player making a real impact. And that's what I think personally. I'm of the belief here. Okay, you got Cooper DeShawn, that could be a steal. Quinion Mitchell. This is only all of those 6 quarterbacks going so quickly is only becoming more and more of a win for every single team that wasn't sitting here focused on quarterbacks. You're going to end up having, like, so Seattle was rumored to want to get a quarterback here. They're going to not get a quarterback most likely. That's going to end up being a win. So I think this could really get a turn. I mean, you're going to get some talented players that are going to be slipping here, and I think a lot of these teams are going to really luck out. I'm hoping, cross our fingers, this is what I personally want here. I'm hoping, as a Texans fan, right, repping the Texans here, right? I'm hoping as a Texans fan, yeah, we already traded out. Yeah, we had the 23rd pick here. I'm hoping maybe in this range, we trade back in. That's what I'm hoping for, and these defensive players slip. But I think a lot of people are going to have that idea if these defensive players keep slipping. So this is going to be a fascinating one to see for sure. I'm intrigued by it, to say the least. Anyways, so thanks again, guys, for tuning in to the stream. Awesome. This is the first live stream that I've done. I figured this was as good of a night as any to do this. You know, I'm a big talking head when it comes to football. I love it when you guys are chatting in. It's good stuff. And make sure to come check out my other videos. We have the Oakland Sentinels expansion team series going on with Madden. Definitely check that out. We're doing a rebuild. We're on episode 4 coming up. You know, we just finished up, wrapped up the off season, played our first game. It's a really good time. Don't want you guys to miss that. Definitely check that out as the series keeps going on, and hopefully, cross our fingers, it ends up being a win. And we can get a championship there for the Oakland Sentinels, the new team there. So definitely check it out. It's been a good time. I've been having a blast with it, and I think if you guys check it out, you will enjoy it as well. So definitely take a look at that. Anyways, we're coming up here. Is the pick in? Nope. On the clock. Let's take a look here. I'm intrigued to see. I think it's so cool they had Bill Belichick on the Pat McAfee show. I think that's legit. I think that's honestly legit. So, I always forget that Pete Carroll's now gone from the Seahawks, which is a shocker. So, now everything changes because Pete Carroll always ran that the 4-3, kind of cover 3, type of defense. I think now that they have McDonald there, McDonald's originally from Michigan, He's from the Ravens. He's much more of a 3-4 type focused guy. So it'll be fascinating to see what he does there. Bona, you had him as your defensive coordinator. That's another loss that the Ravens had. Ravens ended up with a lot of losses. I felt like the Ravens had a lot of losses this offseason. So, I mean, just cross our fingers. I mean, I don't hate the Ravens, but it's definitely a win for the Texans because we got murdered by you guys. But there's definitely a need there for somebody here. So. All right, if I had to make a prediction on who the Seattle Seahawks are going to pick here, I'm going to be going with, normally I would know because Pete Carroll loves his Pac-12 guys, but I think I'm going to guess it's going to be a defensive player, and I'm going to go Darian Arnold. I think it's going to be Darian Arnold. Alabama, that one wouldn't shock me. Corner from Alabama. Let's wait and see. Let's see if they have it pumping through on the McAfee show quite yet. No, nothing yet. So that's what I would pick. Now, the reason I say that, too, is partially I'm thinking that way because, man, the Ravens, and McDonald's coming from the Ravens love taking Alabama cats. Love taking Alabama guys. So I see Darian Arnold, and if that's the case, Dallas Turner. That's what my predictions are. It's going to be one of those two. So we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being one of those two. But we'll have to do a little bit of a wait and see here. A little bit of wait and see. All right. Just waiting for that pick to populate here. Let's see. Nothing in yet. That's how this draft goes. I want to see if there's any rumors that are swirling around. Do we have anything else from Ian Rappaport? So this is a good description of I think everybody's reaction here. Took number 15. Number 15. There you go. So, see, I forgot that the Jets actually got Hassan Riddick. See, that's a big get. They went vet heavy. See, every one of these guys right here is older. Right here. Every single one of those guys. That'll be interesting. Chargers reportedly got calls from the Vikings and Patriots about Justin Herbert. The Chargers told them he's not available. How funny is that? All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. I hope he takes Kool-Aid so that the Niners can get Arnold. Yeah, that's... I hope for your sake that Kool-Aid's gone, Dad. I mean, I've seen some of those... Listen, there's rumors that have gone around about Kool-Aid potentially going to the Niners. I'm not a big Kool-Aid cat. I personally think that Kool-Aid almost would play safety. He just seems very slow. I just am not super high on Kool-Aid. So, yes, I can understand your belief in saying, hey, let's keep Arnold. I really liked Arnold. So I originally watched Arnold's tape. I originally studied, I was like, oh man, this guy's good. The thing though with Arnold is that I didn't know originally was some people fear that he has his moments where he's trying really hard, moments where he's not. He's one of those classic, who knows the accuracy of those rumors, but that's been somehow put out into the web space. Oh yeah, this guy's not super about it and all this stuff, which I actually feel bad. A lot of times when that happens, I actually end up feeling bad for those guys. I'm like, what the freak? You guys are ruining this guy's career. But yeah, I like Arnold. My favorite corner, after hearing that, my favorite corner probably is Quinion Mitchell. It's a risky one just because he's from Toledo, but you just put on the tape, he just explodes off the tape. But those are the top two. It's Arnold and Mitchell. Those are probably my two favorite corners. And Deshaun, I just don't look at as a corner. If he stayed at corner, I would prefer him in like a Tampa 2, some sort of zone concept. I think he's got ball skills. I think he's just a playmaker, man. Like I said earlier, if you start showing up in this range, like that, Cooper DeShawn is like an Eagles pick. Like if he starts showing up here in this range, this is when Cooper DeShawn can make a huge impact. He shows up on a winning team, and you roll him out there, and maybe he doesn't even start for you year one, but every time he plays, he's getting you interceptions. He's making the big plays. That's the type of pick that I think it's going to be big time. So, like, that's the one I want to be evaluating here is, okay, where's Cooper DeShawn going to go? Okay, there you go. Pick is in, and it's Byron Murphy. So there's the Texas defensive tackle that Bona was talking about, right? Texas defensive tackle, Byron Murphy. Yeah, listen, I don't know a lot about this kid, but a lot of people are high on him. I think he's on here. Yeah, he's high on the list. And it's so funny because you have these are the two highest defensive tackles, right, that everybody's listed. Look at how much Aaron Donald has changed the game. Byron Murphy, 6'1", 308. The guy would never be drafted. And then you got Jershawn Newton, 6'2". That's just barely would make the cut back in the day. But Aaron Donald's changed the game so much. So much. This is where we're at with it, right? These guys are getting taken high, and people are believing in them. So I am interested to see. Let's see, does it have info on the guy? Only a couple games worth on info. Yeah, maybe I'll go for a defensive tackle, Seattle. Yeah, and that's what they did. That's what they did. I don't watch enough Seattle games, but that makes sense. Yeah. They don't have much of an interior presence there. I genuinely don't even know their defensive tackles there. So, this seems like this is probably a need. And McDonald's loves those low center gravity type of players. Like he had Michael Pierce for a long time. He plays for the Ravens. They had that rookie defensive tackle last year. They've had a few of these shorter type defensive tackles that operated for them and had a lot of success. So I'm not necessarily surprised they're getting a 6'1", 308 guy. I think that fits the bill. He probably is going to play. He's probably going to play nose tackle sometimes for him, defensive tackle sometimes for him. They're probably going to move him across the line of scrimmage. I don't think this is a bad pick. I really don't think this is a bad pick. And it's right around where you want to be. Every one of these picks, for the most part, is going to really start looking good. And it purely has to do with the fact that there were 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. Like, to me, that's phenomenal. That's crazy. And there's no wonder it's a record. No wonder it's a record. When you're having stuff like that, that's just crazy. So, the Falcons GM is talking to the team owner like a guy who is fighting for his job after taking Michael Penix. Oh, that's a good description of it. That is a darn good description of it. Well, Nolan, big time just trade. Did you just see this come through? Vikings have now traded up to the Jaguars spots at number 17. That's 2 trades. That's 2 trades. Holy cow. That's big time. Whoa, so who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? Let's see this. Edge Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner. This is Dallas Turner right here. Bill Belichick talking about him. That's a shocker. We all thought the Vikings were going to trade up to get a defensive tackle. Hello. Now it's Dallas Turner. How about that, Nolan? That's big time. That's big time. That's big time, Nolan. Good for you. Yeah, that's a big time pick. See, listen, Dallas Turner now at that pick, that's a good pick. That's a good pick because listen, Dallas Turner is oozing with talent, and Brian Flores too is your defensive coordinator. I'm a big believer in Brian Flores for the Vikings, right? I'm a big believer, but Brian Flores also likes those guys that can do a little bit of everything. He comes from literally the Bill Belichick line of thought. So you got this guy who needs those outside linebackers, those edges that bring the concept of, okay, can they play as a 3-4 outside linebacker? Can they play with their hand in the dirt? Can they drop into coverage? That's where Dallas Turner, to me, he has such a level of athleticism that I think that's what he oozes. So listen, I like Latou ahead of him. Does that mean I don't like Dallas Turner? By no means. I think Dallas Turner, this is actually a really good pick. What's interesting about it is they traded up for it. They had the 23rd pick. So I'm wondering, to me, what were, like, they must have thought somebody's taken him. Who is the guy who do they think was it? Bengals? Yeah, they might have been scared of the whole Trey Hendrickson rumors, and that just came out today that the Bengals might be getting rid of Trey Hendrickson. So that could have been a cause of it. I don't know. Or the Rams. Rams are always looking for edge rushers. I don't know. But either way, great pick at 17. I want to know what the trade was. Let's see. You say big time value. Yeah, I think at 17 you're right. Let's see what they're giving up though. What are they giving up? Let's show more here. 23rd, 5th round pick this year, 4th round pick this year, and a 3rd round pick next year. Yeah, you're making a move there. Holy cow. And that also adds on top of the other one. I mean, you guys about drained your draft. About drained your draft to get J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. Here's the deal. I actually don't mind the move, but I think this is showing is that the Vikings think they're better than they actually are. I think the Vikings think they're probably better than they actually are. I mean, they went and signed a bunch of defensive players after they lost Danielle Hunter. They lost Kirk Cousins, okay? You bring in now 2 edge rushers because they took Jonathan Grenard from the Texans. And then they bring in Dallas Turner. To be honest, that offsets Danielle Hunter fairly seamlessly. But you're bringing in a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, and you're giving up a lot of these picks. It feels as if they think they're probably better than they actually are. Or it's one of the I wonder if my job's on the line type scenario. So, I mean, to do 2 trades like that in the first round, you're trading up twice. You're trading up twice in the first 17 picks. Yeah, that normally is a move. That's normally a move where you think you're something. Now, maybe they are, though. I mean, for all we know, maybe they are. As a Texans fan last year, I mean, we traded all the way up to the number 3 pick. We took C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Everybody thought we were idiots, and we looked great, 9 months later. So, I mean, listen, you're not giving up a ton. 3rd, 5th, 4th. Your last trade was 4th and a 5th. So now you pretty much essentially wiped clean, mid-round picks for the next 2 years. Hopefully those mid-round picks don't turn out for the other team. But, yeah, I don't think it's a bad pick. It's clear if Dallas Turner turns out, it's all negated. It's the same thing that takes place that literally the Texans just did with Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. It's a similar concept, not as on a grander scale. It's not the number 2 and number 3 pick. But in essence, if your guys turn out, nobody cares. Right? Nobody cares. So, big time for the Vikings. Man, big time for the Vikings. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a big time trade. I mean, the Vikings are making things exciting, at least in here. Vikings are making things exciting. Here you go. Kirk Cousins, a bit stunned by Falcons drafting Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins was surprised by Atlanta taking the quarterback. Yeah, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was. We might have a Aaron Rodgers scenario on our hands. But you know what's so funny about this scenario that I do want to paint the picture of here really quickly is he's coming off a torn Achilles. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's only reasonable. There's a little level of reasonableness to this. I mean, you got to get somebody. I mean, what if it's a massive issue? We just witnessed Aaron Rodgers have the issue. I mean, all of a sudden he's injured, and What, you're not going to have anybody? So, I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible... The Penix thing is going to be debated for a long time. I don't know if I have a mindset on it yet. I haven't watched enough Penix tape. I don't jump up and down about Penix, but maybe somebody else does. Falcons obviously did. There you go. Well, this is exciting. This is an exciting draft. Actually, things are happening now. I mean, things are happening. So, there you go. See, now we wait around. We got the Niners pick coming up at 31. We got the Ravens pick coming up at 30. Bono's going to be interested in that one. And then we got a lot in the middle here. This is where we're getting into the talented teams. You know, this is where we're going to get into the more talented teams. Actually, teams that didn't make the playoffs here. I guess the Jaguars are technically counted as that. Cardinals, there's a team that has an extra pick. Every single other team made the playoffs and on some sort of level succeeded here. So I guess Bengals didn't technically, but everybody views them as a playoff team. So every one of these picks from here on out is going to be impact players for an impact team. So that's going to be, I think, bring a little bit more interest here to what's taking place. I'm intrigued here because some of these players are going to be interesting to kind of hear what they have to say. Oh, let's tune into this. This is cool that they did this. Have Bill Belichick on here and these coaches are coming on. That's pretty cool. He's so honest here. This is cool to see. You never hear this. This is cool. The chat is hilarious, though. Gotta love the people chatting here. Just classic. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. Well, there you go. All right. I think that's so cool that they do that. I think that's so cool that they do that. Bring on those guys. I mean, I love it. I love the Aaron Rodgers thing that they bring on there to the Pat McAfee show. I love it. Okay. Rams pick is coming up. Looks like the tackle finally came. Bona mentioned this tackle coming. I mean, a potential run of offensive linemen. Mims. I know some people that are actually high on Mims. So I'm interested to see where does PFF actually have him. Let's see here. They don't have him on the first page. There's J.J. McCarthy. How about that? Let's see. Bo Nix, there you go. Michael Penix, exactly. 8th pick. There you go. See, look at this. See, I've seen, and maybe I've missed him here. By the way, I'm higher on TJ Tampa than these guys are too. So some of this is kind of just shocking a little bit here. We're a little low on some of these players, but you know everybody's opinion is slightly different. But Xavier Worthy, look at that. I mean, that's the faster, super fast guy. It broke the record for speed. I mean, where are we at with this? You know, where are these guys? Let's see here. Marius Mims. Georgia. I'm not seeing him. So this has gotta be a big stretch. I would think. If I'm not seeing him here, this has gotta be a substantial stretch. Yeah, geez. Let's see. Let's see if I missed him. Let's see if I missed him. There's Brock Bowers from Georgia. There we go. Because I was like, man, what's going on here? So, okay. So he must have been one here, the top tackles here. So they're taking preference over everything. I mean, I think we're down to probably preference here. Fatuno is, as far as I understand it, you know, okay, so it says zone blocking. You know, I haven't really studied the tape as much on these guys. Okay, zone blocking scheme. So he must be a more fluid blocker here. You know, not as powerful, probably most likely. Okay, so Mims took over for Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones went high last year. He went to the Steelers, 14th pick last year. Brings sky high potential. So I'm of the belief, like, we're getting into the 18th pick range. That's fine. I don't have necessarily anything to sit here and tell you about in terms of, oh, is that the right decision or wrong decision? I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily a bad play to take guys with a lot of potential. The issue with offensive linemen, and there's just no way around it, is they play early because they're so valued. They have such a difficult time at the beginning that you don't want to play them again. Now, this Mims cat might be good, and he might be an outlier, and there always is an outlier. Like the Browns had a guy in the 4th round, he turned out to be pretty good. There's every year there's somebody who's an outlier. Is your guy going to be the outlier, or is your guy going to be the issue? And that's part of obviously the watching the tape and everything like that. But that's the tough part with these tackles is sometimes you don't want to wait around to find out. You don't want your quarterback getting hit. You don't want those scenarios playing out. You would much rather prefer scenarios where, you know, you're having success and he's playing, or you can either sit him and you have somebody else that's in front of him or something different. That's part of the reason. It's part of the reason I liked the Jets pick. Because you're taking a guy with this pick that in reality, you're taking a guy at the 11th pick, he doesn't have to start day one. So you have the 11th pick sitting here, you know, Fashanu, he's not necessarily going to have to start day one when you play, right? Right? But now the Bengals pick, you don't know. Is Mims going to start day one? Anyways, this is a whole discussion I could go on for a long time. You'll see it probably play out, and there's going to be scenarios where that plays out in the expansion draft series that I have, or the expansion team series that I have for the Oakland Sentinels. So make sure to definitely check that one out. You know, for those that have coming in and coming and going and viewing this, you know, thanks for tuning in. First live stream, so super excited about it. But anyways, that's a part of the thought process here, right? You're trying to figure out, okay, am I going to roll this guy out there? Now, I don't know anything about Mims. I have no. Somebody might be sitting here and watching this video and going, "Oh my gosh, but Mims is great. I really like Mims," and maybe he is. So, but that's always my ideology with offensive linemen. Is you almost want proven talent in there, prefer to scenarios where you're going, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if he's good." We find out, roll the dice, and you roll the dice, and your quarterback's getting hit. So, it's that scenario. Okay, looks like next pictures went through. Jared Verse. Okay, I don't know a lot about Jared Verse, but I know a lot of people are actually high on him. He's kind of a preference pick. Some people like him. Some people are indifferent about him. But yeah, he said I was in at 19 from this, so if it was based purely off of PFF, he'd be a great pick. I mean, it was just right exactly where they predicted. I am intrigued by this kid. I wouldn't mind maybe watching some tape on him. I don't know if we have an option here to maybe watch some tape. See if we can kind of dive in just for a second here. Not YouTube TV. What are we doing here? Let's see if we can get some maybe Jared Verse scenarios. See that? I'm always intrigued. Some of these highlight reels are great. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, holy cow, what an opening play here. That's not bad. A lot of speed off the edge. Holy cow. I like his length, too. That's somebody that can really develop into the role. See, the whole idea is, and this is what people talk about all the time, is the guy going to be able to develop into the position? Does he have the body type that's going to be able to produce over a long time? That's always the concept here. This guy looks a little small, but man, his arms are, he could fill out, it looks like. He's got some length to him, too. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the pick. I genuinely don't mind the pick. I think I'd have to dive into more. I just haven't seen enough tape on the guy, but I think there's a concept here. Jared Verse to the Rams. This is who they like. They've always loved speed off the edge, athleticism off the edge, from Leonard Floyd to Von Miller to the list goes on and on. They're all about athleticism. So, in my opinion, it's a lot of a match here. If it is accurate what PFF is saying and how they have them ranked so high, I mean, I could definitely see what they're talking about, right? First things I noticed here, long arms, right? So, we'll see, but I like the pick. I like the concept. The issue that they're running into, and it's quite frankly obvious, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore. They don't have Aaron Donald. And so they have to figure out pass rushing help. And the idea that now they're going to have some sort of, pass rush when Aaron Donald leaves and it's got to come back from the interior. No, they're starting from scratch. They just got to find pass rush in general. So I personally think it's a logical pick. That's all I'm saying. Look at this. This is crazy. Now the Bengals have 2 of the tackles. Oh, no. That's right. They signed Trent Brown this offseason. Look at the 3 tackles they picked. Good grief. Good grief. Well, let's go back to that discussion I just had. Mims ends up being probably a good, solid pick here. Trent Brown is often injured. Even Orlando Brown has been starting to get injured as of late. These could end up being good picks. I mean, that could end up being a good pick. But holy cow. Who is the offensive coordinator and why do you want him so big? Those might be are they the 3 biggest humans in the NFL? All average 6'8", 345. Jeez, those are big boys. Yeah, that's a sizable offensive lineman there. So, well, here's our little for my basketball fans. I'm a basketball fan, so this is a little nugget here. Philly takes Game 3, and holy cow, did Joel Embiid go off? Wow, gee, Merry Christmas. Here you go. Didn't allow a single quarterback kick or sack in his college career. See, look at this. This could end up being a great pick, right? And I just don't know. I haven't seen the tape. Jared Verse, similar concept, right? Haven't seen the tape. It's just the ideology of picking. Okay, you're picking this position. You better feel good about it. You're picking this position. You better feel good about it. The one good thing, and I've said this already, and I'll say it again. The one good thing in all of this is the fact that you had 6 quarterbacks go early. So you could legitimately have some serious talent that's slipping. Right? Maybe this Mims guy should be higher. Who knows? Maybe that's where this is lying. Dallas Turner, who just went. Jared Verse, right? Maybe those guys should be higher on the list. But they're not because 6 quarterbacks went inside the top 12. So that's a cool one. Okay, it looks like pick is in for the Steelers. So we're going to have to do a little bit of a wait and see here. We're coming up into the back end of the draft. Things have the excitement has eased up a little bit here, so we're going to kind of wait it out per se. I am intrigued to see who ends up where the rest of the draft and how it all kind of plays out. I want to see. Now, listen, I'm not trying to make any predictions or whatever, but I want to see a team trade up. I'm preferring. I want to see the Texans try and get back in it. Do I think it's necessarily what they have to do? No. Right now we're settling around two. We have 2 second-round picks. I think we have needs in a multitude of spots that other teams. I mean, that the media probably hasn't noticed as much. One, we never addressed the offensive line at all this offseason. Did I think they were bad last year? No. Did I think they were great? No. Did I think they were good in spots? Yes. Did I think they were okay in spots? Yes. That's the problem. They're a little inconsistent. So the offensive line is a big one. And as far as I understand it, I haven't seen it happen yet so far, is the interior line of this draft, center specifically, there's some depth there. So cross our fingers. Hopefully there's some slippage. The other thing that also has a lot of depth is cornerbacks, and we haven't seen one taken. So we're going to find out right here if that one is going to be the Steelers. But good gravy, do we need it? I mean, not do we need it, but I'm just saying like teams like Chris brought up, teams like 49ers. Wow, that's a big deal if we can get a slip. And to be honest with you, the 49ers are one of those teams that we got to be watching. Are they going to monitoring? Are they going to be trading up? I don't know. That's the type of thing that I am intrigued to see. So, anyways, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to find out. I don't know. It's going to be. I just don't know. I don't know how this is all going to settle in. We'll have to do a little bit of wait and see here. Do a little bit of wait and see. Drake May and Jacoby Brissett will be competing. There you go. A little bit of Jameis Winston and a rookie quarterback right there. We've seen that play out before. That's a little Oakland Sentinels shout out. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. All right, let's see where things settle down here. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see where it falls into place here. I want to know. See, my biggest thing here is, where is Cooper DeShawn gonna go? Okay, there you go. Next pick in, Futanu. Futanu for Washington. Futanu for Washington. Okay, so there you go. That's the last of the offensive tackles. And maybe we've seen the completion of that run. So when I originally was looking at this, I didn't notice that Mims was here, but we've obviously seen Mims come and go. And then you got Graham Barton here. Oh, wow. So there is a few offensive tackles here. Man, that run is going. So it looks like Mims, and then we just had Fashanu, and Fashanu is the one that they had rated a little bit higher. I think it's more of a preference pick. We discussed that earlier, right? He's his own blocking. It says he is that type of a mentality. I didn't get to look at a lot of the tackles, but on some sort of level, if PFF, and I've seen these in a lot of the big boards, if they're rating him this high and you have a multitude of tackles, that means there's some sort of value there. I think this has got to be a situation where the value of the position is weighing in both this and weighing in also the draft itself. So, listen, I don't know 100%, but that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what's taking place. Back-to-back tackles. Oh, whoa. Grew up a Steelers fan. Favorite player was Troy Polamalu, so good for that guy. Okay, now, see, listen. We've only had two. No, we're up to three. We've had 3 defensive players taken. Only 3 defensive players. 1, 2, no, we've had 4. 4 defensive players. That's right. The Vikings traded up. So we've had a total of 4 defensive players taken. Not a single one of them is cornerback. And I think there's some depth to the cornerback position. Do I think they're all great? No. But man, I think there's some players that are slipping. And I think there's somebody in here is going to get Cooper DeSean, Quinion Mitchell, some of these guys, and it's going to be a big deal. Teron Arnold, I like all of them. Man, my question is, so we got the Bills. They traded away Stephon Diggs. Are you looking for receivers? Brian Thomas, maybe the guy. Okay. You got Cardinals. They took, Marvin Harrison. They could be a DB. Bucks, they got rid of Carlton Davis. They could be a DB. Packers always are taking defensive backs. Cowboys, pretty loaded up at defensive backs. But that's just because they let Stephon Gilmore walk. But I don't believe he's signed anywhere. So it's one of those, are they going to do it? I don't know. Eagles always will take a defensive back. This is going to be an interesting scenario. Because the Dolphins have been forever rumored to take Xavier Worthy. If they take Xavier Worthy here, I'm just going to come out and say it. Maybe they'll make the most of him. But that would be such a silly pick. Now, if you don't know who Xavier Worthy is the wide receiver that broke the record for fastest times. They literally have Jalen Waddle. They have Tyreek Hill. They're 2 best players essentially on the offensive side of the ball. Both some of the fastest players in the NFL. If you're getting a third one, what are we doing? So, I'm just going to go out on a limb. They got rid of Xavier Howard. I think this is going to be Teron Arnold. I think this is where Teron Arnold is. If I had to guess, I'm guessing this is where Teron Arnold is. So, we will find out. We'll have to do a little bit of a wait and see, but still, I mean, that's what I would be guessing. But it's one of those, I don't know 100% for sure. So we will find out. Okay, who's the pick going to be? Who's the pick going to be from the Dolphins? I'm going Teron Arnold. I just think the kid's talent is so high that I think it's got to be Teron Arnold. Now, if I was, that's just my personal opinion here. So we're gonna find out here. But like I know there's Cooper DeSean. He's sitting there still. You have, let's go to the list here. You have Quinion Mitchell as well. Now, this is one right here, Deshaun Newton. I don't know if anybody is a follower of PFF. They're big in Deshaun Newton, but not everyone is. So they're rating him number 11. I think most on average, I'm seeing him 20s, high 20s. So that's more of a preference player than it is anything. And Quinion Mitchell's is a little bit like that. However, Cooper DeSean, a lot of people like. But here's the thing. This is what's always so funny about this. Is it a lot of people like Cooper DeSean that is actually NFL people? Whereas a lot of people that like Cooper DeShawn, people that just like Cooper DeShawn because it's just people that are out there that have never done anything in the NFL. Mel Kipers of the world, those type of people, Todd McShay's, all those people. They kind of piggyback off of each other. So I don't know, I personally like Cooper DeShawn, but I'm not a big like cornerback person with him. If they're going to do a cornerback position, let's make sure he's zoning up for sure. But let's see. All right, let's check it. We've been waiting around for this pick. It's got to be in by now. Let's see. Nothing yet. There you go. Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson. So I don't know who Chop Robinson is. I've heard of him on a few different times. People have talked about him. I know he's shown up on lists. Have I watched game film on it? No, by no means. I have not watched game film on Chop Robinson. But I have seen him on this list. We just saw him on page 2, so I want to pull him up. I want to pull him up here. Let's see. There he is. 40. Now, I don't know if this is the running average for him, okay? But, wow. 40 is pretty... we've slipped a little bit here. Yeah, so that's an interesting one here. I am interested to see what's the actual average for this. Let's just see Chop Robinson here. Let's look. And I'll do this for players too. You can kind of look up the draft stock, see where they're lying. Let's see what NFL Network's saying. Oh, wow, they are up to date. Holy cow. Let's see. They have any rankings where they should? Yeah, draft projection number 1. Okay, if the NFL comparison is Micah Parsons, I think somebody's going to be happy about this. Like, holy cow. That's a big deal. Interesting. Yeah, that's somebody that you're going to want to do tape on for sure. I am intrigued by him here because I haven't watched a lot with him. See, I've heard of him. He's shown up on lists, but I've never got to watch the film. So this is going to be kind of the first film here, seeing him. Yeah, he's got some speed up the edge, and he's got a little bit of lower center of gravity. He's got a little lean to him. Yeah, he dips under. My thing with him... No, he looks pretty good. I was going to say, is his speed really that good? I think it's, not bad speed. No, he's showing it there. So, just size type, just from what I'm looking at, I'd almost prefer him probably at an outside linebacker in a 3-4, standing up. There, he's standing up right there. I think that's a prime example. Where did he end up? Let's see where he ended up. I can't remember. Dolphins? Yeah, Dolphins run a lot of that 3-4 now, unless they're switching it up this year. With Vic Fangio, Brian Flores, I know Vic Fangio's gone, but still, they run a lot of that 3-4 concept, or have. I would think they haven't changed it up too much, who the defensive coordinator is. But man, one thing I will say is, it's saying he's 6'3", 250. Is he? I'm not jumping off the page as somebody who's big. And is he really 6'3"? I don't know if everybody's agreeing here with me here, but it is kind of interesting that, I don't know. That's an interesting one. But I like him. I like the tape. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I think he's got to have a specific spot. I think he is one of those guys that you go, look how, he looks smaller. Am I wrong here? He doesn't look massive. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a problem as long as he can make to that speed. So, interesting pick. Dolphins got him. The thing with the Dolphins is if I remember correctly, they've drafted edge guys the past few years now. They drafted Phillips, I think, 2 years ago, right? Wasn't it? He's a big, long, lengthy edge rusher. Jordan Phillips, I believe his name is, or something along those lines. So it is kind of interesting to see it go like this, see him go this direction. I don't think it's necessarily a bad play. I think more of the shocker is that we still haven't seen a defensive back go. I don't know if I was necessarily expecting not to see a defensive back go. That is interesting. It's interesting. Look at that. So you have PFF, right? Rated Chop Robinson 40. Okay. Look at what Ian Rappaport just said. At number 21, the Dolphins take the top player on the board of a major need. So how funny. So most likely on NFL Network, you're being posted, and they're probably number one on, and that's just how it goes. Everybody has different opinions about all these players, and you just never know exactly how it's going to turn out. So, fascinating pick. I'm sure it's probably going to be going on. I mean, just seeing even that film, it definitely doesn't look too bad. Let's see, 2 trades mock draft, huh? I'm gonna check out this mock draft too. Just take a quick look here. Michael Penix all the way back there. There's Arnold. See, here's the DBs I was saying, right? You got Arnold. There's Quinion Mitchell, both of which I liked. There's Chop Robinson, so it's right in line with the area we're thinking anyways. Dynamic edge rusher who feels the need for Minnesota. But look, Cooper DeSean. That's a big one. 49ers going Xavier Worthy. That would be some. Okay, so we're going to have to wait and see here a little bit how it plays out. But I am intrigued. I'm a little surprised. I'm just a little... Well, first off, I was surprised with the quarterbacks. Then I was surprised by the lack of defensive players until 15. Now I'm surprised by the lack of defensive backs. It seems like a draft, and I'm not even just saying seems. In reality, it is a draft where they're drafting the most prominent positions. Quarterbacks, wide receivers. We also saw the wide receivers go. And that's funny because the wide receivers, I think, position has changed, value of it, over probably the past 5 years. Mahomes has done that a little bit, but, that's kind of shifted to offensive tackles, edge rushers, and that's it. I mean, that's been the spread. Like, let's look. Outside of that, we have Brock Bowers, who was an outlier, and an interior defensive lineman, Brian Murphy. That's it. It's been quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackles, and edge rushers. Just purely going top priority, highest value. Which to me, this is going to be an interesting one to see how does it actually turn out. Because, listen, a lot of people are pro that idea. Very pro. We get the most important positions. We draft them at the top because they're going to go the fastest, yada, yada, yada. I get it. But I do feel as if it's a little bit of... everybody's basing it off of each other. Oh, the run's going to take place on edge. Like Bona mentioned, the run's going to go on offensive line or offensive tackle in this scenario. That's where the draft starts to head. It just starts to trickle that way. And it's kind of fascinating because in reality, there's just valuable players that slipped. The one position that is, which I'm actually pro, is defensive back. The value of the defensive back has slipped here. So there you go, Quinion Mitchell. So there you go, finally the first team back. I think I said Arnold would go to the one of these guys. It wasn't Arnold and Quinion Mitchell. So somebody's watching tape because I agree with this one. I genuinely think he's the best corner in the draft. So I think this is a good pick. I really do. And you know what's so funny is I really fall in line with how the edge rushers have kind of been laid out. I'm not too opposed. I didn't know a lot about Jared Verse or Chop Robinson. But Latu, I'm a big Latu guy if the health is there, and Dallas Turner. But for Eagles fans, yeah, Quinion Mitchell, this is a very solid player. I'm a big Quinion Mitchell fan. I do, he's the type of guy he's just produced. And I know he's at Toledo, but goodness gravy, if you're looking at his Toledo tape, legitimately speaking, he looked like a shut down corner on Toledo. Now I understand it's Toledo, I understand it's Toledo. Like, I get it. But I'm just going to tell you right now. You go turn on the tape for just a little bit. And anybody who's ever watched football, you watch it and you go, holy cow. The guy is a freak athlete, number one. His size is phenomenal. His size is phenomenal here. And then number two, I mean, just the guy's all over the field. Just athletic plays. He reminds me a lot of Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson, prime Patrick Peterson. It's exactly who he reminds me of. Body type, way he runs, he's just jacked. He's that type of thing. So now, do I think he's going to be unbelievable? I don't know. But I'm just saying, potential-wise, bar none, I think he has the most potential of any defensive back by far in the draft. I don't think there is any defensive back that has more potential than this cat. Now they're showing a lot of the interceptions when I hope they get to the point where it's more coverage. And yeah, look at his hands abilities there too. Yeah, Bone is right here. What an insane value pick. I think you're right. That's my opinion. And I think we're about to have another one. I think Cooper DeShawn's going to be another insane value pick. I think you're going to have another slip of, like, it really Teron Arnold's going to be a value pick. We're going to have a lot of value picks here at positions that are not those, main four positions that I mentioned. A lot of those. Anyways, we won't dive too much deeper into all of Quinyon Mitchell here, but I really like his fluidity. I like the way he plays. He's physical. You don't get to see a lot of it here, but I'm a big Quinyon Mitchell guy. So, anyways, yeah, definitely invite you to look it up, check him out. I think he's a very, very solid pick. Oh yeah, here's another one. Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm not massive on him. Do I think he's a bad player? No. I think if I was going to say so, I think he's probably going to go in the second round. That's what I would guess. And I think that's probably about where I would value him. But anyways, there's some DBs here. I thought TJ Tampa was rated way too low on here. I'm not a big Nate Wiggins guy. He's a freak fast guy, but meh. But to be honest, though, there's a lot of guys here that are going to be insane value picks. Amen. Amen to that. Yep. Amen to that, brother. Yeah, Deshaun is the one that's a little crazy. I understand the slip because I think the NFL views Deshaun as they view him as a safety. And I get it because safety, the value of, and he hasn't played. He hasn't played at that position yet. So the value of safety is very shaky. But that doesn't change the fact, that that's still the case, that it's going to be a value pick, that he's going to be elite. And what's cool about Deshaun is most likely he's going to be playing for a playoff team, and he's going to be one of these guys that you're going to actually go, oh, hey, this guy's making an impact. Now I hope it's not the Jaguars because they're in the Texans division, so I will happily pass on that idea. But he's one of those players that comes into a good team, makes an impact. You're not desperate for a massive value-add position like all these teams up here that have to swing on all these. You can just come back here and take I'm going to take a safety and something like that. That's right where you want to be. So, yeah, I think we're getting close here. We're getting close here. We got the Ravens, the Niners picks coming up. I'm excited to kind of see. I really want to see if somebody's trades happen. Any other trades happening? That's what I'm wanting to see, man. That's all I want to see here right now. So this is good stuff. Good stuff. This pick is in. Let's see if the McAfee show's got it. Not quite. Not quite yet. No pick yet. The Jaguars quietly have had a decent draft. I mean, not draft, but decent offseason. They've got a few guys like Mitch Morse at center. I thought he's pretty good. Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead deals with health stuff, but he's good when he plays. Gabe Davis has had his moments. None of them are like, oh my gosh, he's walking in and he's a Pro Bowler right away. But all of them could be. And that's what I like. I like the concept because the Jaguars have holes. And they need the could be players. They need the could this be guy be good? So I don't know. I like the idea. We're gonna see what happens though. We're gonna see what happens. But I like the concept. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Boom, pick is in. All right, Brian Thomas. So there's the other receiver. There's the other receiver. Well, that's the Calvin Ridley replacement. There's the Calvin Ridley replacement. I like Brian Thomas. I think Brian Thomas is good. I think the wide receiver class is good, per usual. I feel like in the NFL, that's just been the norm. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm not excited. That one's another impact player type of player. Very similar to what I was saying to Sean and not wanting that, because you're getting a receiver. Those type of impact players that are going to make big impacts in the playoff games, those type of stuff, skill positions, safeties, that type of concept that are normal waiting around this long in a draft. Those scare me. So I'm a Brian Thomas guy. I think he's good. I remember Chris Sims rated Brian Thomas the second best receiver in this draft, or third best receiver, which is just crazy. It's just crazy to think about that he wasn't high on Odunze, but that's how it is. I mean, some people are really high on these guys. And I think Brian Thomas is one of them. So, listen, I think if there's anything that's that I'm hearing here is no trade for Brandon Ayuk. I'm not seeing trade for Brandon Ayuk. I'm not seeing a trade for T. Higgins yet. I mean, no way does Brandon Ayuk go for a non-first round pick, right? Maybe T. Higgins. Maybe. I think T. Higgins is really talented, but T. Higgins is also a number 2 receiver. Has been. He could be a number 1, but he's been a number 2. Ayuk's been almost a number 1. I mean, so I don't think these trades are happening, and that's fine. And Chris, if you're a Niners fan, that's a win. That's a win, I think, in your book, especially a team that you're trying to go win the Super Bowl. You don't want to be giving up a player like that. So, Calvin Ridley during free agency to Tennessee, Jacksonville added another receiver, circling Brian. Yep. Eagles sit and pick. No trade, surprisingly. They take a top corner, Quinion Mitchell, the top corner. So, yeah, this is interesting. So people are starting to say, yeah, Quinion Mitchell's the top corner. There's probably a little bit of a level of consensus there. That is actually what's interesting because you don't always see that. You don't always see that consensus. Oh, man. The Eagles bug me because I swear every year we're saying the same thing about the Eagles and Howie Roseman. Another phenomenal offseason, getting great players. Now, all these players great, but no, some of them are. Obviously Saquon Barkley, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Devin White's had his moment. Bryce Huff is elite, and then Quinion Mitchell. So, I mean that's a great haul for an offseason. That's about as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, this is. Oh, look at this. We got some news on Joel Embiid. I'll let that be for a second here, but crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So, all right, let's see where this is all settling down here. Let's see. Do we have another pick coming in? Another pick coming in on the clock. Let's see. What do we got? Any trades? I haven't seen a trade nor rumors of trades taking place. Do we got? Let's see what the McAfee show is showing here. Anything coming through on there? And Cowboys are on the clock. This is a big pick for. It feels like half the nation half the time with how much they talk about the Cowboys. And the other half just wants them to lose. So the Cowboys have just been slipping. The Cowboys have absolutely been slipping. So I'm all for. I'm absolutely all for. I'm interested to see how it pans out. Ooh, pick is in. Okay. Shaking up there. Yeah. This is gonna get interesting. Um, I want to do a quick run through Twitter here. Let's see if we got anything else that are popping up the page. Sometimes you get these trade rumors that'll come through. Um, but shocking, which this realistically, to go back to the 49ers receiver scenario, I would see now it's more likely than not that Brandon Ayuk's staying. But I would say there is a tiny percentage chance, that Deebo Samuel's not. And I think that percentage chance goes up the longer this first round goes by. Now, do I think either is going to take place? No. No. I don't. But that's one that could. Like tomorrow, if it happened, would I be going, oh my gosh, this is insane? No, I don't think so. Well, here you go. Big news. Cowboys trading out of their pick. Lions trading into the pick. There we go. Trade happens, and the Lions crowd goes wild. How funny. I need to get a clip of that. That's funny. How funny is that? Yeah. Now the question is, who are they taking? Normally they're quick to know. Normally you're quick to know something like that. Let's see who would the Lions be taking here? Who would the Lions be taking? Pick is in. So the Cowboys fall back to 29. Just in front of the Ravens and the Niners for the Ravens Niners fans. This is going to get tricky. Because who would they be wanting to trade up for? I'm going to guess DB, and I'm going to guess it's Deshaun. This is the Deshaun moment right here. Iowa kid, I'm not surprised if they're trying to get ahead of the Packers because I think they probably think the Packers are taking him. The big deal with him is the fact that, potentially going to the Lions. The big deal with this is the fact that they lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So they picked up Carlton Davis, but I don't know if they picked up a safety. They might have picked up just somebody out there, but they didn't pick up a necessarily safety that's top-notch level. So Deshaun Cooper or Cooper Deshaun could easily be this pick. It's right in their alley. If I remember correctly, they took an Iowa kid last year. So we got to do a little bit of a wait and see. But I think this is kind of obvious almost. It's got to be. Got to be. Let's see though. What's our reporter saying here? No inside information, huh? So A.J. Brown ended up becoming the highest paid receiver. That's just shocking. Because what makes this so crazy is, one, Amon-Ra St. Brown just got re-signed. Boom, match Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill already was getting a lot. If A.J. Brown just became the highest paid receiver, good grief. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, they're about to get stacks. Those guys are about to get a lot of money. And it's probably a smart move that the Eagles did this. Get ahead of the bill here a little bit, because this could go south quickly. All right, let's see. Is the pick in yet? Who do we got? You guys traded up. You better know who you wanted here. Who do we got? So what did the Cowboys trade? 24th and the 7th, the 29th and 73rd. It's not a bad pick. Not a bad trade. The Cowboys need a lot. In my eye, they're good, but they've lost a lot this offseason. So it's not a bad trade. Good old Skip Bayless. Nothing like a Skip Bayless Cowboys tweet where he's upset. Just great. Just absolutely love it. I just wonder if he knows just how much they hate it. Well, here's the the Lions pick. There you go. This is the pick. It's got to be Deshaun. Here you go. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow. So Terrion Arnold. Listen, Terrion Arnold's dang good. He probably, listen, talent-wise, he and Quinion Mitchell are neck and neck talent-wise at the quarterback position in this draft. 100% they're neck and neck. So, am I going to sit here and go, oh my gosh, this is a shocker? No, I'm probably not. But I just felt like Sean was such a seamless. I mean, he's in that area too, that neck of the woods. We'll get out of some of these here. It's such a just obvious pick, but you know, listen, Arnold's good, man. Arnold's a good player, and most likely you put Arnold in and he starts it right away. It's the biggest thing is if any of the stuff about him not being, you know, taking plays off and doing that type of stuff ends up being true, that's where the problem lies. It's not anything else other than, okay, well, is this guy actually for real? And if he is, it could easily be BS. I mean, for the most part, it easily could be BS. If that's the case, no big deal, no harm, no foul, and I think it's a great pick. I think it's a really good pick. So, how about that? That's crazy. Okay, good for the Lions. Good for the Lions. And let's see what we got left. So Terrion Arnold, we got the Packers and the Broncos, Cardinals, Bills, Cowboys, Ravens, 49ers, and Chiefs coming up here. So then we're going to round up the first round. So, hey, thanks again, by the way, for tuning in. For those that have stuck around this long or checked this out, been awesome. You know, first live stream I've done, so it's been a ton of fun. It's been a kind of a fun opportunity to test it out. I see what it's like. It's a lot different than editing videos. Editing videos is not an easy task, to say the least. So it's been a good change of pace. Just hit the play button, talk, and kind of enjoy it. It is interesting, you know, hearing myself talk. So it is a little different, but you know, it's been a good time. What I will say here is, make sure to come, you know, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on. I'm gonna have you know, more videos coming out, not necessarily about the draft, but it's gonna be about you know, our Oakland Sentinel series. Make sure to check that out. You know, hopefully it's really good content. Hopefully you enjoy it. You know, doing an expansion team rebuild. It's a ton of fun, and make sure to check it out. So, anyways, thanks again. So. All right, we're chugging along. This is probably, I'm going to probably say this on every pick, but I think Deshaun is. A lot of mock drafts of Deshaun going to the Packers. Well, now we're here. So, if the mocks know anything, this is where they're going to end up. You know, I would think on some sort of level. So, we're going to have to wait and see. Arnold's a solid pick, so we will find out. So, okay, I'm gonna step away for just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. And we're back. Alright, let's finish this sucker up here. Alright, where are we settling in at? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Alright. Pick is in. Where are we at with this? It's gotta be Deshaun, right? It's gotta be. I would think. You know, the Cowboys, to be honest with you, if they're still able to get a good player, that won't be bad. 73, picking up 29 is 73. It's actually pretty good. Like, I hate complimenting the Cowboys, but that's pretty good. You're picking up a third-round pick. And that's not just third. I mean, that's actually a decently high third-round pick. That's actually a decent trade. It really is a decent trade. It just is. So it all depends on if by the time 29 comes around, there's nobody there, and they don't get a quality player. Then there you go. That's the problem. So I guess we'll quickly find out if how it all pans out. So good stuff. Good stuff. Packers pick is in. Offensive tackle. Holy cow. We've had a lot of offensive tackles. I just doubt that this Jordan Morgan kid, let's see, is actually going to play tackle for them. He might be listed as a tackle, not play it. So let's see. Let's see. Do we have a Jordan Morgan sighting anywhere? There you go. Jordan Morgan, tackle. 6'6", 320. Whether he plays tackle or guard, right? There you go. Either way, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to be taking a pick. You know, people are swinging because this is probably the conversation that I had earlier in the stream about an hour ago when Mims was drafted. And to be frank, after looking at all this, probably Mims is going to turn out to be a pretty decent pick if he ends up being good. But the crazy part with a pick like this is if this Jordan Morgan thing is accurate in any sort of level. I don't know a lot about the offensive line this round on the edge. If this is true, you have a scenario where you're taking a tackle. Really, he should be a guard, so he better be freaking good at guard. You know, like this has got to be a good player at guard. Because if it's one of those scenarios that, I mean, you're taking a tackle, he's not good at either, then it just becomes a wasted pick. So, listen, I don't know a lot about the Jordan Morgan guy. I don't want to bring it down on here. This kid says needs to get stronger. I don't know how the truth behind it. Desirable athletic traits, fast hands, feet, bolster the starting caliber potential. So let's see. I mean, he's taken what? Who is he taken by? Packers. He might play for the Packers. Bakhtiari's out, gone. That was a need pick if I've ever seen one. So he might come in, walk in, and play, which could be problematic. You never know. That's the whole point that I made earlier. Is you're wanting to take like this Mims cat, even though he's ginormous. You know, I was making a big speech about it, but then they end up having Orlando Brown and Trent Brown, and Mims might not play yet. So even if he has great numbers and stats, all of a sudden this turns into a phenomenal pick. This guy could sit back, develop for a year, boom, he comes in. He's just like, I mean, offensive tackles are just like quarterback positions in my mind. I mean, these kids got to develop. These kids got to take time. They can't just walk out there and block Mekhi Parsons. They'll look silly. So it's if you're in a Jordan Morgan scenario, and if this kid's not ready to play yet, could be problematic. This one is the one that feels like a reach. I don't know a lot about him, but it feels like a reach more so than probably a lot of these other ones. You know, it just feels like they're going to want him to play. That's pretty much the simplified version. I think there's a need there. They're going to want him to play, and is he going to play well? We don't know. So it'll be fascinating to feel that out. Just every time it becomes need focused, that's where the issues start to lie. I think. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Yep, 25th pick. That's who they select. What in the speech? We got a speech for. Jeez, it's like a freaking concert or something. Holy cow, what a sold-out place for the Lions there. Holy cow. How crazy is that? That's a cool scene. That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool. Well, we're coming up. We're slowing down. We're coming up on the end here. So, who's ever stuck around this long, you guys are good humans. Hope it's been entertaining enough. Look at this. 5 first-round pick trades that just make sense. None of them are going to involve a player, I don't think. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to say the least how this all pans out here. I don't know. We'll have to find out here. So, let's see. Let's see what we got picks-wise coming up here. So, this is the pick where Carlton Davis got traded away literally to the Lions. So it is interesting because there is a more of a need there at the cornerback position. I mean, with that being the case, maybe these guys view Deshaun as being able to play. But holy cow, could you imagine? Could you imagine a scenario? And I hate that I'm only talking about this Deshaun kid, but he's one of the most famous guys in this draft, right? I mean, you got Kool-Aid still sitting around. Could you imagine a scenario where this guy slips out of the first? I mean, they have him 8th rated. This isn't actually crazy far. That's not as far-fetched as we're thinking here. I wonder, and just from Chris's perspective here, listen to that. Look, and this is the truth. I say play safety is my preference, but I haven't really thought of this idea of slot. Now listen, Niners had a few issues. They had a few issues last year. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, so it wasn't crazy. But one was serious, and that was slot corner. Could you imagine a scenario where the Niners take him and put him at slot corner? That could be the case. That could be the case. And he's got that talent, man. He's got that talent. And I know that the Niners have that Seattle type of defense. They always have. They like zone. They like the zone mentality. Maybe you get a guy like this, he ends up playing zone for you, and that's just kind of how it falls into place, and boom, you put him at slot, and he excels at slot. You put him at safety if you have injuries, boom, he excels at safety. That could be the sneaky pick if you're a Niners fan that you would want. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what we're kind of falling into place here. We're waiting around for. It could be a Niners, a Niners scenario. There you go. 26th overall pick selects Duke. Graham Barton. Graham Barton. So Graham Barton, he's the guy. He's showing up. He was the last real run of those tackles. Which blows my mind here is that it's been tackles all throughout this draft. Barton, a tough lineman who moves well and he has strong hands, a mean streak in the run game. He's the best position in the NFL is likely at center. What a shocker. He's a tackle and is likely at center as he brings starting caliber traits there. Well, that'll be interesting to see. I am intrigued to see if that holds true. I don't think this is going to be right. That seems a little far-fetched, but making a switch from a tackle to a center, that just seems a little far-fetched to be making that type of a prediction. I think maybe that guy just had that idea. I doubt the Buccaneers are going to have that same idea. Now, when I say that, though, they're also the same people that moved Ali Marpet from tackle all the way to center. So maybe we have a moment like that. Look, and they even have him listed as center. So maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. You know, let's see if he played multiple positions. He might have started multiple positions too. Experience, explosive. Let's see what his experience is. Versatile option. Probably be picked in the first round. He probably won't be the left tackle for Virginia that drafts him. Every other position, they all remain on the table. Barton played center as a freshman for Duke, moving to left tackle. Oh, there you go. Totally different scenario then. Well, good for them. And listen, they need it. When Ali Marpet retired, Ryan Jensen retired. That's an easy transition straight to a center. So, I mean, they need actually a center. Look at this. Darius Robinson. Boom. Now we're starting to get picks. Now we're starting to get picks moving. That's great. Ben Becerra, what's up, man? You've actually shown up in all the videos, so this is good. This is good. Love the support. Love the support. Love the support. Darius Robinson. Darius Robinson. See, I don't know a lot about this cat. I don't even know if he has shown up on their list, which doesn't necessarily mean a lot. That doesn't always mean a lot, but I am intrigued. It's a good starting point here. Does someone have anything on this Darius Robinson kid? Not Chop Robinson. Let's see. Darius Robinson. Let's see. So it looks like they're not high on him. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. But man, there he is. Darius Robinson. 61. So they have him rated as 61. See, this is where it's tricky. When you start moving to the back end of the draft, when it starts coming to the back end of the draft, that's when you start just going preference. I mean, back into the first. You just, a lot of times you start with preference. And it either works or it doesn't. It works or doesn't. My thing is, though, when there's players like Deshaun still available, that's the surpriser. That's the surprising one to me. So Bona, Chris, those two, I mean, with the Ravens, the Niners coming up, those are the ones we got to be watching here. I mean, they could easily get Deshaun. What's up? I hate and I love. Let's go, Pats. Yeah, yep. Well, you got Drake May, so go Pats. There you go. You got your starting quarterback. Are they going to come back into the first round? I don't know, but you got your starting quarterback. That's for sure. Let's see if we can get an update on this Robinson guy. Wonder if they have any intake here. Darius Robinson, they entered free agency with a big need there and fill it in the draft. So there you go. Defensive tackle need focus there on that one. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. Not sure a lot about this Darius Robinson guy. Oh, here you go, though. This is going to be good. Kirk Cousins' agents, Mike McCartney. Yes, it was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is, the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard. It never came up in any conversation. I mean, is this an Aaron Rodgers scenario all over again? That's a bad, bad start. Oh, this is classic. Wrestling. I think this guy here is the, what is his name? Tony Khan? The owner of the wrestling league, the AEW wrestling league, I think. So, that's funny. Well, I haven't watched his tape, but boy, oh boy, does he look jacked. So, that's hilarious. I mean, they made that pick quick. They made that pick quick. All right, now what are the Bills going to do? See, here's the problem with the Bills. The Bills are in a scenario where they are desperate need of a receiver. Desperate need of a receiver. But we also said the same thing about the Chargers earlier in the draft. We said, okay, the Chargers are in desperate need of a receiver. Here they are. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who are they gonna take? Oh, there you go. Point proven. Did the Chiefs just trade up? Whoa, that's a low, low point for the Bills if they're trading with the Chiefs. Wow. Here's the question. Who do they just trade to get? Who do we just trade to get? All right. Let's just see. Might have to actually look out here. YouTube, I mean, Twitter's letting me down here. Bills trade Chiefs. Let's see if this is real. Oh, now they're bringing up the Patrick Mahomes trade. All right, we might have to do a little waiting. Let's see if Pat McAfee's on it. Let's see if we can get something from him. Yeah. Yep. Chiefs on the clock here. Chiefs on the clock, though, so it looks like some sort of trade was made. Could you imagine? Everybody just absolutely ripped the Chiefs for the Patrick Mahomes trade. This whole offseason, that was the whole thing. The joke was about, oh, the Bills made the trade with the Chiefs, essentially drafted their quarterback of the future for them, or let them draft their quarterback of the future just so they could get their butt kicked in the playoffs every year. How funny is this that they just made that trade again? You would think in their head they go, well, I'm not doing it again no matter what. But I guess we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what goes on here. I just want to know the details. I mean, on some sort of level, you better get something good back, man. You better get something good back. Chiefs who need a receiver traded up to Buffalo spot at number 28, where some thought the Bills would take a receiver. Yeah, what the heck? Are they going to get Xavier Worthy? No way. They got to get Cooper DeShawn. I think they got to be trading ahead of the Niners and the Ravens, right? They got to be saying, okay, we got to deal with the Ravens and we got to deal with the Niners. We're getting a player they're about to get. There's no way they're going another direction than this. And I apologize in advance for Bona and Chris here because that sucks if this is true. If they're getting, like, if you get Xavier Worthy, it's just like he could be great. Obviously, he's faster than freaking crap, and he's going to the Chiefs. Okay, so be it. But at least you know most likely you weren't taking him. If it's Deshaun, that's an issue. That's an issue. Because I think either one of you two would have taken him. You got the Cowboys there. I mean, that could be a wide variety of players here. Maybe Adonai Mitchell or the South Carolina dude. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be. Now, okay, wait, hold on. Leggett? Yeah, see, okay, now I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I see this idea, but Xavier Worthy's way more in line with what they do, you know? Let's see, though. It's got to come through. They got to have a pick ready here. Nothing yet. I mean, both of those receivers can run, though. They can flat out run. Yeah, this will be interesting. So you're thinking receiver then, Bona. That's what you're thinking. What's crazy is, though, the whole Adam Schefter tweet. Because to me, if they're that big of an idiot and they let him come and take a receiver, that's crazy. Unless they purely know it's not. There you go, Xavier Worthy. My inside source, Benjamin Becerra. Let's see if it's true. Wow, it is. Wow. They wanted Xavier Worthy. All because, essentially, he runs fast. You know what's funny is they got Marquise Brown this offseason. So you're getting Marquise Brown. Now you're bringing in Mr. 421, which is insane. Insane speed. That's crazy. That's crazy. But listen, at the same time, they're in desperate need of a receiver too, because they have Rasheem Rice. Who knows how long he's going to be out for. And the crazy part about him is they're just diving deep. They're just saying, "Yep, I'm going head first into speed again." After all the issues with drops, so I don't know. It's classic Chiefs fashion. They're doing exactly what they've always done. Speed over everything. It's probably going to work out great because it's them and it's Patrick Mahomes. But good gravy, that's a crazy one. That's a crazy one. What a day to be alive for this kid. I'm sure he is just, like, stoked, like, beyond measure. Okay, let's look at the trade. 28 and 133. So 4th round pick, 7th round pick, kind of an exchanging of picks. For 32, 95, so moving up into the 3rd, and a 7th. And move up slightly in the 7th. I don't know. I guess the Bills needed more picks. That's just crazy. Could you imagine if these kids ends up being like Tyreek Hill, and then the Bills just drafted him Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill? Like they chose that life. That's crazy. If they're the ones choosing that life, that's crazy. That's just a crazy one. That's a tough one to digest if I'm a Bills fan. So, anyways. All right. Well, we're coming up on close to the end here. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Notifications turned on. Should be having new videos coming out for the Oakland Sentinels series, the expansion team rebuild Madden series, which is a ton of fun. I've had a blast thus far. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys are the ones that have stuck around, have seen it. Anyways, keep making that plug. But make sure to definitely check those videos out. Good stuff. Just released 3 shorts also. From those videos from episode 3 of those videos, the first gameplay videos. I have a few shorts out there. Make sure to check those out too. Should have some more coming along here, so definitely subscribe, hit the like button, and keep the notifications turned on. So thanks for all the support here. Anyways, pick is in, it looks like, for the Cowboys, and then Ravens are on the clock. So Bona, if you've lasted this long, then there you go. You're still here, which I'm impressed. I'm impressed by that. Hey, I'm impressed that I'm still here. So I want to give myself credit here. Yeah, so anyways, good stuff. Ravens pick's about to be on the clock. Then we got Niners for NorCal kids like me. Niners are my second favorite team, so I always got to root for them. That Super Bowl was a heartbreak. I'm not going to talk too long about it, so I'm always rooting against the Chiefs now. So, anyways, it's gonna be an interesting sight to behold. Tyler Guyton, huh? That's who you want? Okay. Or cornerback? Yeah. See, I don't remember everybody you guys lost, to be honest with you, because this was like a weird off season for you guys, because you had you signed Derrick Henry, but it was like that was the biggest signing. Yeah, I want to pull up, Ravens offseason. So nobody cares about the Cowboys. Cowboys pick's on, but I'm not jumping up and down about the Cowboys pick right now. Let's I want to see if they have at least somewhat of a list that's fairly good here. Signed elsewhere. See, this is the list I was looking for. Okay, so you guys lost Davian. Ronald Darby played fairly well. Duvernay's been decent for you guys, but Gus the Bus been pretty good. I actually like Tyler Hutney. Rock Ya-Sin, he's been good. Geno Stone was good for you guys. Patrick Queen, big loss. And then Kevin Zeitler. You guys got, that's a lot of losses. I don't know who took the O-line spot. So that might be a spot for you guys. And you're also losing John Simpson. And you lost Morgan Moses. So you might end up with an offensive lineman there. Just as an FYI here. But you also lost Geno Stone, Rock Ya-Sin, and Ronald Darby. So you might go to Sean. I think you can go almost best player available. If I was you guys, I'm going that. Yeah, 100% you got gutted. Yeah, that was a heck of a year. But here, okay, who did you actually bring back? So you brought back, obviously, you had to bring back Matabuke. He was phenomenal. Kyle Van Noy actually played well for you guys too. But this is okay. So who you actually signed? So Josh Jones was a Texan last year. He's decent. He might. I don't know what he's gonna. He's played tackle and guard. He's just decent. I don't know. He might end up starting for your offensive line. I would not be surprised if you guys go offensive line here. And then obviously Derrick Henry takes the spot of Gus Edwards. That's an upgrade if he plays. So let's see. Yeah, and then Tyler Guyton for the Cowboys. There you go. Well, that's the bummer. I apologize, Bona. All the hype for going offensive tackle and you wanting him bad. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, screw the Cowboys is right. I amen to that. I can always agree with screw the Cowboys. That's an easy one to agree with. Easy one to agree with. Dang, that sucks. Okay, well, let's look at the list here. Ravens on the clock. I'm thinking. You see, I would go to Sean, but that's just me. I've said this a million freaking times. To me, I actually think this isn't. I'm not jumping up and down. I think this is Newton range and decent range for him, but you don't need him. The need, Deshaun at least is going to fill a void on the defensive back. But at the same time, if I'm the 49ers, I want Deshaun. So, like, you know, in that capacity, I would almost hope it slips. I would not go receiver. I don't think it's a big enough need. Nate Wiggins is a pretty solid corner. He's just so skinny as a rod. He plays man-to-man. He's faster than crap. I think he ran like a 4.2 or a 4.3. But, I don't know. It's a balancing act. So maybe you go Nate Wiggins if you don't go to Sean. But to me, I'm like, you go to Sean. Now, the classic Ravens pick is hello, Kool-Aid. I mean, you always take Alabama player, and this is a famous Alabama player. So maybe this is where it's all going to fall into place for. It's going to end up being Kool-Aid. I don't know. But that one would not be a shocker even a little bit. That would not be a shocker, not even a little bit. So, we'll have to wait and see. Nate Wiggins, easy, you say, right? Yeah, and Ben, you're making some big calls. You called the offensive line, easy for Dallas. Nate Wiggins, easy. Now let's see how far ahead you are on this. If you already see it happening. Let's check. Let's get some refreshes going. Or maybe, just maybe, you have some inside information. Not yet. Pick's not in yet. Okay, I'm going to go with, if I'm going to guess Kool-Aid just because you always guess Alabama when you guess Ravens. You just pick Alabama. But this also weirdly might be a trade the pick scenario. Yeah, Bono, I'm not high on Nate either. I'm not a big Nate Wiggins guy. Guys that are that skinny scare me. He could run straight really well, but it's like that only does so much for you. And are you going to tear your Achilles? I mean, or tear your ACL? I don't know. I mean, he looks talented. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's just a little skinny. So I'm not super high on him, but I'm also not super high on Kool-Aid. If it's me, I'm taking Deshaun. Dijon, or whatever you want to pronounce it. Yep, and exactly what I was going to say next. I think a trade is a solid move also. I don't know if you'll do it, but I think you're almost at a point where a trade becomes attractive. And there's Tyler Guyton. But man alive, what an unbelievable run. Oh, I like Keon Coleman too. I don't think you should go receiver, but I do like Keon Coleman. I've looked at Braden Fisk because I'm a Texans fan. I wouldn't mind him, but I mean, I don't think you guys need D-line. I actually don't mind Rackstraw. Ben with some inside information here saying that Nate he's going to put on some mass and get more muscular. We'll see. Maybe. So we'll see. Let's check this out. What are they thinking it's going to be? Do we have any tweets? Do we have any pick as ends? And boom, it's in. So Nate Wiggins. It ended up being Nate Wiggins. Sorry to disappoint there, Bona. What a bummer. The guy we were just talking about not taking. Well, listen, I think he's so talented. I think he's one of the more talented corners. Like 100%, I think he's one of the more talented corners. It's literally the body size for me. It was purely the body size. And then if Ben's right and he gets mass up, I think it's a decent pick. Like, I'll be frank. I genuinely think it's a pretty solid pick. He's a man-to-man corner. He's faster than crap. He's what you guys run. You guys always love to run man coverage. He fits the bill. And then if he just stays healthy, and I don't know his health history, but when you look at him, I just go, oh, I don't like it. and you don't want him in the slot. You want him on the outside, just the way he runs. That's my personal opinion. So that's me. I mean, I don't see the agileness to him, but then again, that's my opinion. A lot of people are high on this guy. Like him going 30th is about where people think, but also people have been higher on him. So long story short, I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. There's definitely been worse picks, but it's the pick. So there you go. At 30, Ravens select Nate Wiggins. Yeah, exactly. See, this is what I talked about earlier. Bills fans seeing their pick traded to the Chiefs, who just added another weapon for Mahomes. That's a crazy concept. That's a crazy concept. All right. Well, let's wait her out here. We're down to the Niners pick. Here it is. So Chris, if you're still here, this is a big one. This is a big one. I am definitely intrigued to see where this one goes. If I am them, the Niners, you would be crazy to not take Deshaun. You would be crazy to not take Deshaun. I think Deshaun. Yeah, you have a coworker Niners fan. Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, I personally think it's gonna be Deshaun. Like they have such a desperate need at slot corner that if they reach and go, there's a Michigan kid. They might here Sandstrel. He's a slot corner. He's teeny tiny, 5'10", 182. I just say you go best available and you deal with the results. Because even the second corner would sometimes be an issue for the Niners. I just think it's that you go corner, you do it, and you call it a day. And then everybody's happy because you went best player available. And if you're in desperate need and you still don't feel comfortable at a slot corner, well then sure as heck go get another one the next round. So that's where my headspace is at on this. I think it's clear. I think it's clear that it's Deshaun. But that's me. That's me. I don't. You put on the tape. The kid makes plays. You're a Super Bowl team. If you have that kid out there, is he gonna all of a sudden make something happen? That's what I want to know. Is this like a game changing players? Potentially here. So that seems like the game changing player. I don't even know how much more discussion other than that. It just seems like Deshaun up here at the top of the list would be it's too much of an obvious pick, and to have it fall into your lap like this at pick 31, it seems like a no-brainer. Now, I will say, I have heard rumors that they're high on Kool-Aid. If that is the case, they could easily take him, and my apologies would be out instantly for you, Chris, because I know you mentioned earlier you don't want anything to do with Kool-Aid. I'm not a big Kool-Aid guy either. But boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking at the Pat McAfee show. I don't even see him talking too much about it. See what they have to say. See, they're talking receiver. They're talking receiver. That would mean that they don't think they're going to get Ayuk back. If they do that, that is huge. That is game changing. That's like okay, you just gave it away. They gave it away. If that happens. And I'm not crazy. Deshaun, I didn't miss a Deshaun pick. I mean, it's just crazy he slipped this way. I mean, that is a steal wherever we're at. And they're going through all the receivers right now. They even got, Keon Coleman's up there. The South Carolina kid is good. I do like what's it, Leggett. You mentioned him, Bona. This is going to get interesting. Wow. Wow. Well, they just made that announcement. I don't know if you heard it. So they went with, there you go, Ricky Purcell. So he's decently high on a few boards, okay? And they just talked about it. Bill Belichick, if they don't block, then whatever, then they won't, play. Listen, that's all great. That's all fine and dandy. You can all jump up and down about it. Everybody can be happy, whatever. The issue with all of this is not that. It's the fact that they're taking a receiver, which is now a telltale sign they could be trading a receiver. This is a legit, I could be trading a receiver scenario. And it's also, listen, I followed the Niners pretty closely, right? My dad's a big Niners fan. A lot of people in my life are Niners fans. Kyle Shanahan is a big time, I love receivers guy. And holy cow, that is a bold A pick. Bona, you're right. AJ Jenkins, wow, you're pulling that one out. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Yeah, that is. I literally even think they drafted him at 31. That's so funny. Yeah, a long time ago. The A.J. Jenkins scenario that played out years and years ago. That's so funny. Yeah, this cat right here. Drafted in the first round. Oh, he's 30th. 30th. He did just about nothing. He played 1 year for the Niners. Wow. That's a shocker. That's a shocker of a pick. Listen, I've heard of him before. I'm not trying to just freak out here for any Niners fans and all that stuff. Listen, people have had good reviews for about him before, and this is a deeper receiver draft. This guy is going to be decent. This guy's going to be good. Kyle Shanahan does a fairly good job of drafting receivers. I mean, it's proven. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. But the other thing too with Kyle Shanahan is he drafts a lot of receivers. And so to me, the biggest thing here is the fact that the need wasn't there. So if you're drafting a receiver, what this is saying is you think the need is there because you're going to be losing somebody. And that's a red flag. And I don't know if it's Deebo or Brandon Ayuk, but that's a scary, scary thing. Even before this, there's articles that were coming out. They said, hey, what the Niners do with this draft pick is going to be a telltale sign of what takes place in the Brandon Ayuk scenario. This is a scenario that's going to play. It just played out. If I'm a Niners fan, I'm not happy about it. And I don't know much about this Ricky Purcell kid, but it's nothing I'm going to be jumping up and down about. So, yeah, that's it. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to digest. 65 receptions, yards a game 87, 963, 4 touchdowns, yard after catch 14.8, 19.7 1 year, the year before. Yeah, there's a level of talent there, but boy, oh boy. Yeah, boy, oh boy, is that a interesting pick. That's a Kyle Shanahan pick right there. That's a Kyle Shanahan pick, so a bit of a shocker. And honestly, so many better picks too, especially a receiver. Yeah, that's the craziest part. And I don't know if you got to hear this, from the Pat McAfee show when we were doing it, but they were saying if you can't block and blah, blah, blah. And he made the pick. He said it's going to be Ricky Purcell, and it was. The problem with all of this is just the fact that Brandon Ayuk, great, he blocks. But Brandon Ayuk is a downfield threat. He's not this short. He does do all that. But Debo, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle also do all that. So I don't know much about this Purcell kid. Purcell won't intimidate defenders at the line of scrimmage, but he will, once the ball is snapped, he is ready and made a slot receiver who can contribute early in the NFL. So if this is the truth, I don't know. I haven't seen his tape. I'll probably watch it after this. If he's a slot receiver, it's a very poor decision in my mind, because you're getting a slot receiver when your slot is the thing you already are successful at, and you have so many at that. You know, you have no downfield threat. You have no, other than Brandon Ayuk. And if you're going to lose Brandon Ayuk, you have none. And that this could be a big problem. So I think this is a big miss. And this is my first grade. But if I had to give a grade, I'd probably say this is like a D in my mind. I don't even know much about him. So maybe he's going to go. Maybe this is a Porzingis moment, you know. But anyways. Okay, we're on the last pick here. Let's see if we got it to come through. Should be last pick of the draft. Pick is in. Panthers. Panthers makes the trade up. Let's see. Panthers are making the trade up. They got a first round pick. And it looks like South Carolina, Xavier Legette was right. He did go to the Panthers, but at 32, he called his shot. So there you go, Legette. Well, there you go, Bona. Legette's the player. The player you mentioned earlier going, he ends up going here, and he stays in the same state. Good for that kid. I'm actually high on Legette. I think Legette's good. What's crazy is just before that, a different receiver went. So. What a fascinating end to this draft. Last thing I'll see is some context on the 49ers using the first round pick on Ricky Purcell. Brandon Ayuk is in the last year of his deal. Juwan Jennings is in the last year of his deal. Deebo Samuel has 2 years remaining on the deal. It doesn't comfort me if I'm a Niners fan. It does not comfort me. But okay, Xavier Legette. That's a big win. He's a solid player. The Panthers have had quite the roller coaster of an offseason. They find their way back into the first round after making the brutal trade of the number 1 overall pick, essentially, last year when they traded it to get Bryce Young. So, here we are with that. So, anyways, all right, awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It was a ton of fun. Thanks those for who stuck around. Yeah, Ben, great reaction, laughing at that one. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, true. So thanks for everybody who stuck around for throughout the whole draft. It was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. Probably enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. Originally I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be a first stream. I don't know how it's going to go. It was fun. It was fun to be kind of in here, communicate with you guys, go through my thought processes with each draft pick and kind of do that and experience that. Well, good luck to whoever your favorite teams are out there. Good luck to all of them. My draft still hasn't started. I was hoping the Texans would jump in. Just excited to see what the season is. The draft starts really for the Texans tomorrow in the second round. We got 2 picks. Excited to see where that lands and where the rest of the draft goes. Good luck with all your guys and your teams and see how that all falls into place. Be looking for new videos coming out. Going to be, like I mentioned before, Oakland Sentinels expansion team rebuild videos are coming soon. So, definitely check those out when those videos come. I appreciate it too, Bono. It was a good time. Had a lot of fun, and made it through the. I know. Yeah, made it through. So, anyways, all right, awesome. All right, thanks for the time, guys, and we'll.